Okay.
So in the meantime, let's try to find a game. What do we got? See if Tau Lucky and 3D are in their
Looks like
game.
yeah, let's get a Ramson. We
Oh,
can
is
go into
Rumson
Ramson.
in?
Yeah, because
It
I
says he's in
hate.
game.
No, no, he'll be in. Let's me invite Jan back as well. So Ramson is also playing losers. Actually, no, Ramson is playing the winners bracket too. So
Yeah, Rumson's still in the winners bracket.
yep.
And we'll go on to the semifinals. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll be seeing a PVZ coming out on Catalyst once again. Tried and true Catalyst.
Always get Catalyst. And so this is a best of 3, correct? As part of the winners bracket?
Yes, it should be. Let me check the rules. I have to reopen everything since we started.
Yeah, I'm looking through real fast trying to find it.
Yeah, I'm sure the players know.
Yeah, still best of 3 until the finals.
Bless. So finals will be in 2 more rounds, I think.
Yes, for the upper bracket. The lower bracket has, I think, 2 more rounds than that, so 4.
Yep.
But those will go by a bit faster.
Right, because they're all best of ones.
Correct. So, in the bottom right corner of Catalyst, we have the purple Protoss player. It is Ramson. And then in the top left corner, it is the red Zerg player, Uko. Uko? I'm not really
Yeah.
sure.
We'll go with Uko. I
Uko?
think yes,
Ook,
Uko.
yeah. We'll go with Ook.
Okay, so actually, do you remember a long time ago when I first tried casting with you guys, when I was asking you if I could do the ops for you guys? If you hit Control Shift O, it actually pops up the viewing camera.
Yeah, it shows up like who you can spectate on, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
if we want to get third person, we could just do that. I never realized that until I was like trying to hurriedly install Game Heart for this. I was like, oh, would you look at that? Just trying to find that so long ago.
Yeah, I've been playing around a lot with the spectator modes. I've just figured out how to get like the army supply and the income graphs up. Although I don't, yeah, we don't have them in this game just because we're not using Game Heart. So
Oh, okay. That's on the Game Hotmart itself. I was wondering how you brought those up. I thought it was just a mistake on my part, which wouldn't
it
be too surprising.
it's a mix of like the Game Heart mod and a different overlay for it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Not sure whose camera I
Interesting.
just put it to. Meanwhile, anyways, we have normal build coming out of Ramsan, and then gas pool hatch for Ook. So Ook gonna have a little bit more aggressive potential. Of course, Ramsan's gonna need to get this wall up.
Yep, and
Looks
he
like
did scout it, so the pro's gonna stay there, waiting for the money to put up another building, so he knows it's coming.
yeah,
I'm
he'll
quite
get
safe.
another gate in there and be fine. Maybe even get a shield battery behind that. It looks
Yep.
like Ook is wanting to check for proxy, so being safe. Of course, only 4 links made so far for Ook, so it's not really too aggressive unless he keeps making more, but it looks like he will start droning. Meanwhile, this wall still isn't actually done. I don't know what happened to that probe he had.
Yeah, I guess it just backed off for a moment, so we're gonna see if these links can get in. They probably will get in. This is that being warped, and I do think that that's gonna be out in time for these links.
The Adept should get there right a little bit too late. Oh, but actually he decides to back off. Just gonna kind of
Yeah.
watch, see what's going on. He is taking his own third behind this. That is a pretty fast third. So I guess he was kind of wanting to force some kind of reaction out of Ramzan and just go into a macro game. Actually, I really
Yeah.
like this though. He still has the 3 links to deal with the Adept, and this one should be able to get at least 1 worker kill, especially if he goes for that weak one. But he's gonna get the full scout, which is arguably more important because this is a Twilight Council build.
Yeah, and Ramson really enjoys his Twilight Council builds. In the series with Winter, he continually made Twilight Councils. I don't think he ever made a Stargate. Actually, he did make one, but it was canceled before it finished. So
Yeah, and of course Twilight builds can be very strong, especially if it's some kind of cheese or an all-in off of 2 base.
yeah, so we'll have to see if he goes for his usual charge lot opening, which he does get, and then probably either DTs or just standard play from then on.
do see 3 more gates going down, so that'll bring him up to 4, as, of course, like you said, charge is on its way. Hasn't started mining gases yet in the natural, probably won't need to if he's just doing a lot of charge lots.
Yeah, I do believe that this is the build that calls for Dark Shrine. It seems like the one where he made a Dark Shrine earlier. Yep.
As you mentioned it,
There
yeah.
it goes.
So could see those gases taken. He's going to need the gas then, because it's 125 or 150 gas for a DT.
I think it's 125, so they're very expensive. So he will, yeah, like you said, he will have to take those third and fourth gases. But I think he's trying to fake out the Overlord of Uko. I'm not actually too sure.
He might be. Still has that Stalker there in the wall off, but going to expand into a third. Uko going into roaches, starting to get another gas up. Not too many workers yet though at this third. Only at 37 workers total.
Yeah, so he's going to be making a safety push for him for sure. Actually, the Overlord is just barely in vision of the Stalker, so it does go down. And I think that might trigger Ramson take those 2 extra gases.
He could.
Actually, yeah, his build does seem fine-tuned enough where he only spends gas, or he only makes zealots, so his gas slowly stacks up to make 3 DTs when it's finished. So very cool build.
It is. Seems like he's worried about it. He is making spores. Doesn't have one out at his third yet.
So I'm looking at chat, and 4G Kenzie says this guy's definitely from California. Actually, neither of us are from California. Very surprisingly, we're both from the South.
Don't have the accent.
So that is, yeah. Apparently our labs are nothing an accent for him. But we do see DTs starting to get warped in, so we're going to go into the 2 different sides of the bases, and Lair is coming up for Uko, so there won't be, I think there'll be detection in time, but there are no spore callers there.
Well, there's a spore here at the natural, so he's ready for that, but he's not going to be ready here, so he will lose probably all 3 of those workers, I would think. Meanwhile, of course, Ling's gonna try to find some damage.
Yep, this rogue drilling push coming in strong, and we do see 1 force with not a lot of sentries for Ramson in some round, so all these elves are going to go down, and I think he has to...
No, I like that call, though.
Yeah, these 2 hero DTs are showing that they're going to alert who go to the definite existence. Actually, they already are at the base of his, so he knows they exist, but we're going to see how much damage they're able to do.
Yeah, it didn't look like they did too much. The lair is finished, but I don't believe there's any overseers. Yeah, and there's one with the main army. So he's going to keep trying to push, and actually he gets through the wall. Can definitely find some eco damage that way.
Yeah, these DTs, while they are doing damage, the overseer does show up, and their lives are basically forfeit at that point. Ling's doing a lot of damage to the main, pulling into the natural, and I think this might be it for Ramson in this series, or for the first game of the series.
It could be. Ling's focusing down the charge lots, actually going to be able to get a few more worker kills here. Meanwhile, a lot more Lings and Ravagers just kind of pushing in. Should be able to depower all those gates.
And we see the Biles flying down to the pylons. Actually, he kind of landed on a lot of his own Zerglings there, but I don't think it matters that much.
Now, these 2 Zerglings did manage to kill the Zealots, only picked off 1 more worker, but worker count's now 32 to 21. Gates are depowered, the Robo's down. This Nexus is probably going to fall as more and more Lings just get rallied across the map.
Yep.
Now, during that, and I ended up missing this, the 3rd hatch actually died.
Oh, is it the DTs? Oh yeah, I guess
I'm not sure what did that.
Yeah, there was 1 DT still there.
1 DT does kill the hatch, not quite enough damage.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I was there for like good solid minute. Like I'm looking back at the stream, and I think it's just there slapping away at the or it should be there almost. 2 minutes behind. I didn't realize how fast 2 minutes passed.
Yeah, it was definitely fast in there. I felt like I saw that DT run into the natural and die, but I could have been wrong.
There were 2 DTs. 1 went to the natural, 1 went to the third, or to the third.
There was, yeah. I thought, because I saw him kill the workers at the 3rd. But I'll keep watching on the stream myself. We'll see when that hatch dies.
Should have tea to boil. I think it's over boiling, so my room's gonna smell like green tea now.
That's never a bad thing, though. Okay, no, that DT did run back over to the 3rd, yeah. And so he just kind of whittles away at it for a minute. The power of 1 DT. There he is. It's a pretty strong victory, I would say, for Uko. Very powerful timing attack out of him. Did, of course, take damage at home, so if it had failed, he pretty much would have lost the game there, but curious to see if he goes for something like this again on game 2. Of course, this map, Backwater, it is a lot safer of a map for 3 base. Definitely a lot harder to make all-ins work against Protoss on this map, especially if they choose to play safe.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get the re-invite? I was
Yeah,
AFK
yeah,
when I
yeah.
sent it the first time. All right. Thanks.
So yeah, it is funny though, him mentioning 4K or 4G mentioning California. I actually did live there for a little while. Where I was young, I was like 2 or 3 when I lived there, so doesn't really count too much, but
I guess it's enough for you to have a Californian laugh. We'll pin it on that.
yeah, exactly, that's all it is. Of course, I could have a Mississippi laugh or a Maryland laugh or a Florida laugh, any one of them. The
Or
joys
maybe just
of
a bastardization of all of them.
exactly. The joys of being a military brat. You get to live kind of everywhere.
Put that on your resume. I lived everywhere. Hire me.
Yeah, basically. Alright, so in the top left corner, maybe you can go for the same kind of all-in again, or maybe he wants to do macro play on this macro map. It is the red Zerg player, Ook, rocking the 20th anniversary spray. And then in the bottom right corner, it is the purple Protoss, Romson, rocking the Artanis backplate spray, I think it is. Not really actually sure what that is. I know you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Artanis, but I could be wrong.
It looks like the thing he has on his back.
Yeah.
So,
I'll give like a 50-50 on it.
so Ook gonna be going for that pull first build once again. Maybe he'll be more aggressive with it this time, or maybe it's just again trying to bait out a response. And actually, that's a Nexus first build out of Romson.
Oh man, Romson disrespecting the early aggression that Uko put out first game.
It is, yeah, and if Ook can scout that, but actually it looks like he's going for a fast 3 base himself. Interesting.
Yeah, I wonder what's going. These builds are very, very cool, actually.
Yeah, not normal. Double gas already on its way. Probably gonna see the Cybercore go down as soon as the gate's done. And I guess this probe is just kind of watching for like proxies or something? Because he is still making workers. He's getting gas, so it's not like a super fast to rehatch.
I do wonder because it was very intentionally placed there.
It
So
was,
we'll
yeah.
see.
Well, actually, no, he's been banking up minerals, so yeah, that will be a fast rehatch. So he got all 3 of his hatches up at just about 3 minutes. That's gonna give him a lot of larva potential once he gets his queens there also.
Yeah, he opted for that hatchery instead of the 2 queens, which I think does provide like a slight larva deficit for a bit.
It does for like, I think like 20-30 seconds, but once the injects actually start hitting, you get that third inject so much faster, it just pays off.
Yeah,
Now,
so we'll see these links just waddle right in.
they will, and of course he went with a Zealot first because he still doesn't actually have his Cybercore done, so Lings will just kind of be able to run around and do whatever the hell they want, even without speed. They're actually going to try to aggro out the Zealot. I think they win that fight?
Yeah, actually, he does. Thompson does do his return target fire. I do think that the Zealot barely loses.
Man.
Man. And the one Zergling. This probe's going to go mono on it.
Probe going to try to do Citizen's Arrest, but doesn't quite work out. The one Zergling going to run home, tell his family and friends, yo, we killed a Zealot. We could have ran into the main and killed workers. We could have scouted the tech, but we killed a Zealot.
Yeah, actually, I think that call home is actually inviting all of his uncles, nieces, like aunts, like everyone. They're all coming along for a ride now. A lot of Zerglings being produced on Uko's side, and
There are, unfortunately for him though, that wall off will be done in time, but he is making a dropper lord, so no, this is going to be really cheeky play. Well, he still can.
This adept will not be able to return home and tell his uncles, aunt, nieces, and nephews about killing drones and not scouting the Zerg base. He will see the dropper lord actually. Oh.
All right, but of course a lot more Lings running out. There is still no warp gate. It's about 3/4 of the way done, but Lings will be able to do havoc on this mineral line.
Yeah, so Depp's gonna have to carry a lot of weight on his shoulders as she just hides behind the probes and just starts to try and aim move these Lings down.
Of course,
Ooh.
the Lings will focus a lot of those probes down in time, and yeah, Depp does fall. Already up to 13, 14 workers killed. And that's the whole main mineral line.
Yeah, these Adepts not being produced from the natural wall, actually. Like, he's floating a lot of minerals, but he's not producing from those gates, and that could loosen the game any moment now.
It could, as yeah, a lot more Lings coming in. We see just more and more being rallied across, more dropped out. And without shield batteries right here, I mean, the warp gates are finishing up. So we'll see 4 more depths being made, but oh man, 3 of the gates will get depowered.
Yeah, these 4 Depths will have to just kill all of these Zerglings, and I don't know if that's possible. Ooh, does get a wall off.
Alright, he gets the wall up, but I think it is going to fall. Yeah, now he's just doing the whole worker pull once again. That means more workers will fall. And now we see Uko with the 17 workers take the worker lead.
Yeah, these Depths being very, very efficient, but I do think that in the end, Uko is going to be very far ahead because he has 3 hatcheries and, you know, that's 6 worker lead, especially this early in the game.
He does, yeah, and actually, banking energy, he can go do 2 injects right now. He's going to be able to make a lot of workers if he wanted to, but it looks like he's just going to keep making Lings.
Yeah, these Adepts continue to kite for their lives. Gladeps did finish, so these do fire a lot faster, so they will be able to kill these Lings a lot more efficiently.
They will. And he is starting to drone back up, so he will, or I'm sorry, probe back up, so he will be able to get ahead on workers pretty soon. But I think both these Adepts are going to be going down first.
Yeah, so he needs to warp in more, but he's running out of money. He stopped mining gas, so he has only minerals now, so he has to have to warp in Zealous, which I don't think you want that against Speedlings, so...
No, definitely not.
Ooh.
A few more workers going down, and we see just more and more being spawned. And actually, yeah, like you said, there is a Zealot there in the main mineral line. One being warped in here as well.
Yeah, there's
And
one. Yeah.
Romson's going to have to GG out.
Uko taking the series 2-0 against Romson, dropping him down to the lower bracket.
That was some very, very aggressive play out of him.
Yeah, really cool. Very nice play, like going into like both of them going super macro oriented, and then just Romson, or rather Uko, just pulling out the Ling Flood.
So actually, we see Uko's next opponent is ready, so we could keep casting him into the semifinals. Or we could jump down onto the lower bracket. I think we would have to wait for a game that way, however.
Yeah, I think going through Uko would probably be the most like active stream time we would have, or casting time we could have.
Yep, I'll see if he wants to be casted again. I don't know what UCSB is. Is that
Santa
that's a
Barbara.
school? Oh
University
yeah,
of Cali, Santa Barbara, most likely.
probably. I would assume it's close to the beach if it's Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I mean, and then again, everything in California is probably close to the beach.
Pretty much, yeah. I just realized you're not in party with me.
Yeah, this is actually just me trying to avoid you more.
I don't blame you. I would too if I could, but unfortunately I can't avoid myself.
You literally have to live with the voices inside your head.
Exactly.
Worst case scenario.
You only have to deal with this voice whenever you're casting with me. I deal with it all the time, so.
Exactly.
So yeah, Uko said he's good with us casting him again. I assume the players are probably doing their vetoes right now.
Alright, so that means we'll have the semifinals ready very soon, whereas the loser, our lower bracket, still has to play through a good amount. Looks like it's going to be Romson and TA Lucky waiting for the players from, for Romson at least, he's going to be waiting for either Caleb Arakus or Gens 8, and then TA Lucky will be waiting for CAG Winter or Halfbreed.
Yeah, so they still have, let's see, I guess that's the semifinals, that last match, the round 8. So yeah, they're not even into the quarterfinals quite yet.
Yeah, so we'll probably have a good amount of best of ones having to be found for the lower bracket. I do think that the reason why the lower bracket has been a bit slower is because it's a little bit more difficult to find the players out from there.
Yeah. And there are more rounds, of course, in the losers or the lower bracket, because I think they're at the same stage right now. Round 1, round 2, round 3, all that, but
Yeah, like it is only best of ones, but even then, like playing like 2 best of 1s is probably still slower than playing 1 best of 3, just because of how difficult it is to line up the timings of your opponents and all that.
Definitely more waiting going on, I would imagine, in the lower bracket.
Yep. Oh, whoops! I keep missing the.
Are you hitting the wrong button?
No, no, no! I'm all tabs, so whenever Uko invites me, I just completely miss it.
Okay. You gotta get that double monitor life.
Yeah, just to get into the laptop.
Exactly. Actually, no, I
That'll
think you
fix all
can
my
do
problems.
double monitor, can't you?
No, I
On a
definitely can,
laptop?
but my desk is too messy to do it. You should not see my desk. It's about as disorganized my life is, dude. It's pretty bad.
Oh, dude, my whole room's kind of like that, except for my desk, because my desk is just big enough for my computer. So.
Oh man, don't make me jealous now, dude. Maybe I will abandon you for real next time. All right. So we'll have
We're
four
good, yeah.
stalling. This is the first time I'm seeing this guy, so this will be pretty interesting. Ooh, acid plant for map 2. So that
All
will be the
right.
first game of acid plant. See,
It is gonna be Zerg versus Zerg, so maybe macro
ooh,
games, maybe not. I had
yep.
a
Maybe you
fun,
get a 5 minute.
yeah, exactly. I had a fun macro game earlier. It was almost 10 minutes long. He
Ooh,
got +1/+1, but never even got Banelings. So it was technically a macro game. It went for 10 minutes, but it was just lings for him the whole time. It was very interesting.
So maybe his definition of a macro game is 10 minutes, where he only makes links
Until
for
the
the
10
entire
minute
time.
mark. Could have been.
Yeah.
We'll see if either player wants to do it in this game. The top left corner, it is the red Zerg who we're going to be casting now for the second time in a row. It is Uko. And then in the bottom right corner, it is the light pink, maybe fuchsia color, I'm not really sure. It is the light pink Zerg forestalling.
Yep. So actually, we did see like a legitimate macro game earlier. I think it was Winter versus. Let's see. I had to check again. It was one of the earlier games. I think it was Winter versus Caleb. Actually, they went to a Hydra Lurker stage. It's pretty cool to
Okay.
watch.
Yeah, so pretty much a full macro game, about as far as you get. Both
Yeah.
players definitely want to do more macro style. They're doing hatch first. We'll see the gas in the pool taken by both players. Yeah, right now. Pool will be followed up shortly. Looks like they're both also going to scout the same spots. Just going to go watch the thirds of their opponents.
Yep.
So we very
So
likely
let's.
will see our macro game this time.
Yeah, well, let's see where their builds deviate. Because what if one player pulls the trigger on Lings, then the other player will have to respond in kind. So then we'll have a real macro game there when it's just Ling Bling slapping each other in the face.
Exactly, just swarms of little weak bugs attacking each other. Basically children.
Basically, children. Yep, children with butter knives. It's great.
Well, hey, if you have enough children with butter knives, they can eventually stab through a wall. Just takes them a little while.
So then, what we call banelings then, or do we call them children with cooties?
I don't know if that's how cooties work.
You don't think so? You don't think cooties make children with butter knives explode on contact? I think it'd be pretty close.
So I think we're seeing the first spot where the players deviate, forestalling only on one gas, so he's not trying to make his little cootie children. And actually, no, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Uko's doing the exact same, but Uko is producing lings right now, whereas we don't see any lings made yet for forestalling. And actually, he's going to go grab his third. Yeah, both players being pretty macro focused. Now, of course, 2 lings are not much, but they are going to mean that there has to be some lings made for forestalling, and he is making 4. He's going to be able to protect his third.
Yep. Both players pretty confident in their, I guess, the later gameplay, since they're both choosing to just macro up a little bit more. Uko is falling a bit behind in workers. I don't know if
I don't think
4 for this
Uko's
much.
wanting to actually macro. Now he is making 2
Yeah.
more workers, but I mean that's going to bring him to about the worker count I have with my 3 base all in. He very well could just start pumping out lings nonstop.
Yeah, so we'll start seeing a lot of children with butter knives just start flying at the base of forestalling.
Yeah, we very well could. Is making creep tumors, but yeah, no tumors for forestalling. So that's interesting. That's definitely not the normal thing that you see.
Yep. You see the Zerglings starting to stab at the third hatchery, doing a little bit of damage. I don't think they'll be able to take it down unless, because forestalling is making more Zerglings in the back, so.
He is, and they are both. They are trying to make Banes. Looks like Uko is making some safety Banes at home. He's actually done a lot of damage though to this hatch.
Yeah,
And
canceling that Baneling, and the Queens are trying to move their butts over there to defend this, and yep, looks like they will get away fairly safely. Uko droning behind it, actually.
Yeah, so Uko, if he can keep these Banelings alive, he could easily take out that third. He's going to be really careful. One Baneling could just change the tide of this, as is normal with these butter knife fights in the early game.
Yep. Counterattack poised for forestalling. This could do a lot of damage. This Queen's definitely going to go down, and I don't know if there are any Zerglings back home for Uko.
They're not. They are running back now, but there's also a lot more lings for forestalling coming out, as he does manage to pick off one worker and start getting some Banes made right there on the front. Good connection there, though, for Uko.
All these Banelings are sitting there, and Uko's gonna not attack those. He doesn't know when. I don't think he spotted when they started morphing, so he's just too scared to put Zerglings onto those. I think.
No, it's always a risk trying to kill those Banelings, but I think he wasn't too concerned about just 2. Ooh, really good connects there for Uko. I mean, a lot more Banelings are rolling in, but there's not really any link support for him now, so Queen's gonna be able just to tank most of that damage.
Yeah, a lot of Bane's already going up. Oh, the drone line being targeted. Let's see how many drones he can get. Already 3 going down. A lot of Zerglings being sacrificed just to block that.
Yeah, so I mean, 5 worker kills are good, but there are roaches out now for Uko.
Yeah.
Of course.
So there are a lot of. Oh. I was gonna say there's a lot of coups being spread onto forestalling's lings there, just in general. A lot of good Baneling hits on both sides, and it looks like Uko's just trying to transition straight to the roaches. And I don't actually know if forestalling has a roach ward built yet.
He does. It's it finished up about 10-15 seconds ago, so he has roaches not being produced actually as I say that. Still checking on the Ling Bane aggression. Actually, he has so many Lings. He definitely will get to find eco damage with this.
Yeah, the Ling flood. The roaches do well against Lings, but you have to have a critical mass of them before they start doing that. So we'll see how much damage. Actually, I do think he has enough roaches to fend off this push, but
especially with the Banelings.
Yeah, the Lings will try and get a decent scout off, and they will be all cleaned up.
They will maybe get to take down that queen. Yep.
Ooh.
So the significant thing with that, of course, no queens means that he does have less spawning right now, as forestalling is making a lot of his own roaches, and he does have +1 started up now. So in about a minute and a half, he will have that upgrade advantage. Still no Evo chamber even made at Uko's bases.
Yeah, so it looks like Uko's probably going to go in for like a mid-game push to end the game, because he won't be able to fight forestalling if the game goes on for too long.
I think that's an issue. Now these Banelings, I think, need to be pulled back at the natural. Be ready for that Ling run by, and he seems to realize that. Has his own Lings there to deflect as well. Should be able to hold on there. Meanwhile, his roaches do mostly push away the roaches of Uko.
Yeah, Uko did have a very good concave there, but I don't think it was good enough to like deal with the reinforcing army of forestalling.
No, it wasn't. Of course, in Roach Wars, Defender's advantage is a huge deal, especially before Roach Speed is finished up. Worker's going to be pulled out of this third base. A little bit of oversaturation, but it's not too much of an issue. And I don't know if Banelings are really what he needs at this point. I think just more Lings to kind of tank Roach damage.
Yeah, he does cancel those Banelings because he recognizes he does need the Lings to tank. So we're going to see a fight here where the Lings are going to go for a pretty good surround, and the Banelings do sacrifice themselves on a pack of 3 roaches. And I do think that forestalling is in a decent position, but again, defender's advantage does do a lot for ZVZ. So we're going to see these roaches be chased away, and a few more being picked off by Uko.
Of course, with this Ling Flood, maybe he can start trading against this ball here of roaches, but...
Yeah, roaches do overkill Lings very easily, so that could be what's happening right now. I think like very little Lings have actually died with how many volleys have been thrown out by these roaches, and I think that might push forestalling into a favorable position here.
It will. Now, +1 is just about to finish up. That is going to give a little bit of an advantage for forestalling's roaches, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold on as his lings start dying. I mean, he has a lot more rallying across. A few Banes would be able to make the difference.
Yeah, this is a very close fight because if forestalling doesn't manage to do enough damage here, 7 worker lead of Ugo will start putting him pretty far ahead.
It will. Now, of course, also of note with that is that there is a lair finished up for Uko, but not a lair started yet for forestalling. Forestalling does have his +1 finished up, and it's only just now starting for Uko, so that is a bit of an advantage. But not being able to get roach speed is going to prevent him from really being at all aggressive again until he has that up.
Yeah, I think by the time the lair finishes, +1 for Ugo will be mostly done, so that upgrade lead that forestalling has managed to push out will be negated by that.
That it will. Ling's gonna probably be able to pick off a few more workers here. Maybe they get 4. Oh, no, only managed to get 2 actually.
Yep. Even though it's only 2 though, it still pushes forestalling to a pretty good worker deficit. But actually though, counterattack from forestalling going into the third base of Uko, not killing any Lings actually, so I mean not killing any drones rather. A lot of Lings just being traded off for other Lings.
No, it gets pushed away pretty easily. Then we do see that roach speed on the way for Uko, so he's going to have the potential to be pretty aggressive. Stronger economy. Already has more gas being mined. Yeah, it's 2 gases versus 4, I believe. Yep, 4 gases. That's going to be a big deal because, of course, I believe if you're hitting all of your injects perfectly, you can just kind of pump out roaches non-stop off of 1 mineral line. So you do need those gases at this stage, especially if you're winning Ravagers or any kind of tech.
Yeah, so actually the Queen being picked off, and now these drones are just exposed, so this might be the break that Forceline was looking for. He does kill off 4 drones, which brings down the worker deficit, but...
It does. Not going to be able to take out that Queen unless he gets to wrap around, but roaches will get here in time. Actually, does pick off 1, maybe 2 more workers, though.
Yeah, the roaches are actually called back, so... a very large roach force for Forceline is being moved out right now, but +1's gonna finish for Uko, so the upgrade advantage between the two is going to be nullified. So we're going to see how this fight goes. He's going up the ramp, and I think Uko's going to try and push the issue and make a nice concave on forestalling's roaches.
He will. Not all the roaches of forestalling getting to attack. I do think Uko's going to be able to hold this, and his speed has just finished up. Speed's not too far behind for forestalling.
Yeah, but this is basically a committed attack for Forceling. He can't run away for as long as his speed isn't finished, and if he does, he's just going to lose all these roaches for free. And
that's what it looks like will happen.
Yeah, the speed difference is just way too obvious that he loses all those roaches, and I think that might just trigger Uko to push across the map with his roaches.
Yeah, Uko, by and large, has had the worker or the income advantage throughout this game, and I think he's just going to be able to keep holding that. Is actually taking a 4th base. I like that move as he's going to be able to be pretty aggressive and push.
Yeah, this creep spread actually helping Uko here more than does forestalling because he knew that the push was coming, but this creep spread just helped in elevator and a lot faster. Actually, these Lings doing a lot to impede the movement of Uko's roaches, and I think that might be enough to actually let forestalling clean up this roach force, I think.
Quite possibly. It looks like actually Uko's going to be able just to trade out a little bit better there.
Yeah, the concave for Uko is naturally forming as the reinforcements streamed in.
I don't think Uko really should be trying to push the issue too much. Maybe just clean up the creep and back off. You know, he has a 4th base on the way, up on workers, and his +2 is about a quarter of the way done right now, whereas it has yet to be started for forestalling once again. Uko will have actually a good advantage for a short time period at least.
Yeah, I think maybe the push was just to make sure that forestalling didn't greed for drones. After he got his initial push in fought off, so that instead of forestalling evening out the workers, he would be forced to make more army units to defend that push.
Yeah, definitely could have been. Would like to see Ravagers made or Hydrogen or something, but actually Uko getting +1 armor as well. Not the most important of upgrades in the Roach versus Roach war, but it is helpful. It does make a difference nonetheless.
Yep. Pretty cute move there, trying to morph in 2 banelings to harass the potential workers of that 4th base, but he does scout it, send 1 Roach to defend it off, and looks like we're going to be looking towards another push.
Looks like he will. I kind of wish he had an Overseer just to push the creep back. I mean, the map vision is just huge here for forestalling.
Yeah, he will be able to see every move out by Uko, but again, like this creep spread does help Uko in terms of map movement as much as it does force stalling in terms of defense. And I see a nice concave on both ends, but a better flank for force stalling come out, as one or two roaches do get trapped behind the other ones.
They do, but of course the Ravager's starting to help break down that wall, and he's getting a much better concave now.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the GG. As +2 is just finishing up, so yeah, Uko is going to be able to do a pretty convincing push there, do some good damage to the eco at that third base.
Yeah, so I think that's a 1-0 in favor of Uko, right? So we're going to see Acid Plant next.
Yep, Acid Plant will be the next map, and they didn't say what the third map was going to be, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. You know, Acid Plant, I think Acid Plant is actually a really cool map because of the way that the third and fourth base are laid out, so that the first three bases is fairly simple to defend. Like, it makes a lot of sense. You just go in one line. But the moment you get to the fourth base, they're on opposite sides of the map, and you have to make a decision or, like, have the map awareness to respond to the move-outs of your opponent.
You do, and that's, of course, the big issue with Zerg versus Zerg is it's very easy just to hide army or kind of move it around and force not economy to be made. It's always kind of the goal is to get that little bit of an eco advantage going.
Yep.
So, I guess, I don't know if one of them has made the lobby. Uko apparently is still in a custom, but he's been there for 14 minutes, so that's just the last game.
Actually, for me, Uko's in the lobby, so it's just bug on both sides, I suppose.
Could be. He was... Oh, there's the invite. About to go check what his opponent was doing, see if forestalling was in lobby or not.
Yep, looks like I can just join. Yep, he's gonna send me the invite. So we will be getting to game 2 very soon.
An Acid Plant, kind of a worse map in my opinion for any stage of Zerg versus Zerg. A little bit harder to get lings and roaches across the map. Until those rocks get broken down at least.
Yeah, the rocks in the middle are just like denying a lot of pathways for just in general, like of ground units. And I think it's a really cool idea because it does make it much more convenient for people to walk through it. And if you have to open it up, it basically telegraphs to your opponent that you're trying to go through that zone too. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool map design.
Adds a unique style to it, and I like it a lot more than Eastwatch, where it's like rocks at every single choke, and you have about 20 rocks to break down as you push across.
20 walks to break down as you push across a bunch of bushes that can hide banelings or widow mines or just any splash damage of any sort.
Yeah, so we'll see if both players are going to be just as safe and go into the long game like they did that time, or if they're going to be a lot more aggressive this time. So in the top left corner of Acid Plant, it is the red Zerg Uko. And in the bottom right corner, it is the light pink player who is taking his actually doing a drone scout, not even doing a natural hatch, but it is the light pink Zerg player forestalling. Interesting choice to be doing that. You don't see drone scouts all too often in Zerg versus Zerg.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of hoping for a proxy hatch.
Okay, so that's very, very bold.
Yeah, forestalling opting for the... He's in a losing position, but he still chooses to show his or his E-balls out and just want them on the table as he takes his natural at the gold base. Oh, man.
And that, unfortunately for him, and I don't think he thought about this, that Overlord's probably going to be pathed to his third base. It's going to go right over that gold. That's going to be very, very difficult for him to defend that and his main from Ling Bane.
Yeah, well, let's see how this goes. This is just so cool, actually, I think.
It's very, very clever. It'll give him a very big eco lead, get his third base up, and actually probably even a fourth behind that easily with the gold money, but I would just be very concerned about Ling Bane.
Yeah, it looks like Uko will get that scout off, so now he knows, I think, exactly what forestalling is doing. That's going to open up probably very heavy lean aggression from Uko.
Yeah, I would imagine he just kind of does a Ling Flood, gets his Bane nest, and tries to shut this base down. Failing that, you know, he runs like 4 or 5 Banes into the very exposed main base and get eco damage there. The workers once again being taken off gas, going to mine. Almost a little surprising he's not pulling more workers out there to get that gold advantage sooner, but yeah. 8 Zerglings already being made, no more workers being pumped out for Uko.
Yeah, he's just going to stop at 18 workers, or 19 workers, and he's going to start throwing those lings. That ballsy base that forestalling has placed.
Yeah, and forestalling, he knows the situation. He's getting a few lings and he's getting a spine, but of course he can't make too many lings right here, or else the base just isn't worth it. Baneling nest for both players, but a little bit faster from Uko, as he just keeps making more and more lings.
So we're going to see a very desperate defense by forestalling here, because if this base does live without taking severe damage, he's going to be in a very comfortable position in terms of respawning with his own link blood. And I think he actually might have done it. These drones being fairly exposed and the spine crawler is basically done. So I think forestalling has actually done it. This base is set up and he can start mining from it.
He can, but of course Baneling Nest is about to finish, as well as Ling Speed. That's going to give Uko a lot of aggressive potential here. Banes don't really care about a spine so much if they're already in the mineral line.
Yeah,
And there
yeah.
I would be very concerned moving that. If he can jump on top of it, there he goes with his fast links. He might be able just to focus it down. Banes are just about to finish. We'll see them rolling into that mineral line.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, actually misclick there.
No, I think that was on purpose because now his spine dropped most of his HP and now the drones are exposed again.
Definitely could have been. Another queen being pulled out of the main. Both sides are just making lings right now. A few Banes trying to be morphed by both sides. But these workers really just aren't getting to mine like they were wanting to.
Yeah, the fact that workers are mining actually makes this base much more of a detriment to forestalling than it was a benefit.
Yeah, and that Bane manages to take out a lot of those lings. Other two Banes will be able to roll in, probably get worker damage.
Ooh, and there's a lot of bruised workers there. Oh, actually, he's gonna catch some of them in the Baneling. Oh man, the Baneling.
Baneling trying to survive. Of course, I think keeping that Baneling alive, probably the right call to try to zone out other lings, but he does manage to kill 6 workers. Forestalling calls OMG. Good game.
Yeah, great mistake. Oh, so it looks like forestalling held it off, but Uko just showing off his control and just destroying everything. Oh man.
Yeah, Uko got the scout. He responded to it correctly, and he responded to it well. Good Baneling control from him. Managed to not just lose all of his lings, and also get quite a few kills with like 1 or 2 Banelings.
Yeah, so that will push Uko to the finals.
It will. So Uko gonna be waiting for the winner of the lower bracket.
Yep, I would not be surprised if he showed up in the viewer chat just so he could maybe see us cast his opponent coming up. I would do that if I was him, you know. Totally not cheating, I swear.
So it looks like Romson is still actually waiting on his opponent. But then TA Lucky and Halfbreed could be in their game right now. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I actually wonder, I feel like Romson should have already found the game.
I'm surprised that Romson isn't in his game yet.
Yeah, I guess we could ask him if he's played the game, but I also do not see... Actually, let's see who's in there. I see Jen's 8 in there, but I do not see Caleb in the chat, so...
Yeah, I just asked TA Lucky if he's starting his game soon. It shows him at the score screen, actually, so he might have just finished this game against Lucky. Or against, I'm sorry, Halfbreed.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, no. Halfbreed did win that game against TA Lucky, and then Jen's just won against Caleb, so Romson should be available for casting.
Okay, so we ended at a pretty good time then.
Yeah, timing was really good.
Yeah. So we're going to hunt down Romson and make him let us cast another game.
Yeah.
So let's see, Halfbreed taking down Winter. I was like low-key rooting for him since I did cast him for the first 2 games.
Feel a little bit bad about... I didn't realize Lucky, I guess, was in his game, because it said he wasn't in game. It said he was available. So I was like, hey, are you starting your game against Halfbreed soon? Right after that, the score gets updated.
Oh. Yeah, it's slightly poor timing, but, you know, not too much of an issue, I guess.
No, we still found a game. That's what matters. Instead of us sitting here for, 10 minutes observing the Hydralisk on the main menu.
Yeah, I'm observing a planet in mine. I get a better view.
Actually, have you looked at the new I don't know what it's even called, the background model, the 20th anniversary one?
Yeah, the one with like all the units like kind of awkwardly in the air, falling off the cliff.
Yeah, the one that's super loud too. I always
Oh, I
forget.
have not looked at it yet.
It's pretty cool. It is very loud though,
Let's see. I think my
and it's long. It's like a super long one.
oh, my animations are actually turned off. So let me animate it again and see what happens. Where is it? Actually, why is it not playing?
It should be animated for you. Like goes to like a close up of all the guys. We see the next buff for Protoss as we see a charge lot just kind of jumping through the air off a cliff on top of a marine.
Yeah, I think it's pretty balanced, you know? It's definitely something that would help Protoss out in its struggling state against Zerg and Terran.
Oh yeah, you know if charge lots could just kind of like jump up and down cliffs like a Reaper, that'd be fine.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be ideal in terms of just overall gameplay.
Yeah, it would complement their playstyle as it is right now of a death ball that kind of just moves around and casts storms.
Yep. You know, like, they were complaining about the fact that they needed a War Prism, so since Protoss already stuck to mostly charge lot weapons, they just decided to completely negate the point of a War Prism completely and just allow you to jump up and over cliffs
Well,
and
hey,
never charge on off cooldown.
since the warp prism doesn't cost gas, you know, that's two
Yeah.
charge lots right there, or like a gate and another worker you could be making. It's definitely a good call just to kind of remove that weak crutch of their play.
Yeah, next thing you know, we'll just be making purely gas units and it'll actually just be a fart cloud. Call it the Protoss fart. Or we'll call it Terrazine. There we go.
The Terrazine, yeah. That would be what we start calling the new Protoss death balls.
Yeah. So Backwater LE for best of one between Romson and Jens.
Yep, looking like a Protoss versus Terran.
First one that we've casted. Go, go, go. Those are the typos I live for.
You typed that out so perfectly. Like we hit enter at the same time. So I saw your message. I'm like, wait, I did not type that. I typed we're good. Did I really misspell that bad?
We're good. Like you like added extra. You somehow lost two letters. Forgot that you didn't move your hands off the keyboard.
This is the issue of playing with the core and casting with the core. It just screws everything up.
Yeah, it's definitely all the core's fault.
It is, exactly. I forget to mute myself. Oh, that's because of the core.
Yeah, the core, that's also my keyboard. Like, that's actually the core. I actually bought a core keyboard.
It's just like those like 12 keys that you use for the core and that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
God, that'd be horrible.
There's actually like keyboards like that though. They're like split in half.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
God.
like Hesnut streams and he has one. It's kind of cool, I guess, for like the core because you only need like half your keyboard on your desk. But I don't know. I would think it would be just weird trying to type with it.
Yeah, that does sound pretty odd.
All right, in the top left corner, doing what just looks like a standard build so far, it's the purple Zerg, or I'm sorry, the purple Protoss player, Romson. Very odd looking drones right here. Must be a new skin for Zerg.
Yeah,
And
Chrono Boost? Yeah, must be a new spell.
oh man, if only Zerg had Chrono Boost. That might be a little broken. But in the bottom right corner, without his Chrono Boost, it is the blue Terran player, Jins. Jin's also doing pretty standard build with gas racks, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Gas Racks. And also, my latency issue has appeared again, so it's a good thing that we solved over your stream, because I'm starting to lag all over again.
Yeah, so definitely good we changed that. Hopefully that smooths out before the final for you.
Yeah, I mean,
Jin's...
the only reason I was worried about the lag was because of the fact that if people were watching me, then they would be triggered more than I was over it.
Could be. So yeah, once again,
Yeah.
we see Cyber before Nexus. So yeah, still pretty much a standard normal play. Still no scout though, actually, from from Romson. But Jins is gonna scout. He's gonna see what's going on, and then he also has his Reaper on its way. But I imagine the Adept will be out plenty time for that. There is that natural expansion for Jins. Actually, kind of
Yeah.
interesting. He's keeping the worker here. I would just send it right back if I know I have a Reaper on the way.
Yeah, I guess I was just trying to scout which gateway unit was going to be out, but the Reaper would see that regardless, so there really is not too much of a point of that CD being there. Maybe he's just scarred of like a proxy build, like a proxy Stargate or something of the like.
And actually, he's gonna end up losing the worker still, but that means that the Reaper's pretty much just free to go right in if he chooses to. Gonna pull it home since he is building both a bunker and a reactor. Bunker's kind of, I guess he's doing that just because of the Adept.
Yeah, I think it's just for safety reasons. It's just like so that if they decide to push past that natural, they'll continue to take damage from the bunker.
It could. Of course, the Adept will be able to beat that Reaper pretty easily in a one-on-one fight, and actually, he's not even going to try to pump out Marines.
Who has to lift that supply depot? Nice.
Oh, very good save. Yeah, 2 Cyclones on the way, so that Adept not going to do anything besides canceling that bunker. Meanwhile, a third base is going down very quickly for Romson. Not the weirdest thing to see on this map. He is getting to pressure, of course, so he feels pretty safe to do so. Still on 1 gate, and is making a shield battery, but no other tech as of yet. So I think that's going to put him in a great spot, because I mean, this natural command center still hasn't actually been able to finish 4 gens. Workers just kind of chilling out in the bushes, taking a smoke break, waiting for it to be safe.
Yeah, he'd rather take a smoke than get shot to death by the Adept.
Probably,
Pretty smart.
yeah, I think that's a good call. Cyclones are out. Adept won't be able to find any damage. But actually, yeah, Probe's putting down a proxy pylon. As 3 more gates are being made.
The Cyclones do find the Adepts, I think. I'm pretty sure they'll find the pylon soon afterwards. And I am actually just gonna drop out of this game probably if I get that screen again.
That's it. I just had a little bit of a ping issue myself. But yeah, pylon goes unscouted as 2 Cyclones and 2 Hellions move across the map. Orbital command
so actually...
Orbital,
sorry, but yeah, it's sorry, but the 2 Cyclones, 2 Hellion, which is actually really cool because the Cyclones force the Toss to be busy dealing with those as the Hellions move past and try and snipe the probes. But it looks like Jens is actually just going to go for a straight push. He should be going for the probes with his Hellions.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he will do. Few workers should go down if he has good focus fire. There we go, yeah. Actually, just 2 workers went down, but they do manage to find the mineral line in the main. And quite a few more are about to die.
Yeah, these Hellions definitely doing a lot of damage for their worth. I think he might get, 1 last kill before they go down.
Now, Stalkers...
workers killed.
Okay, I like the mines. That's going to really keep Romson from being able to push in. As he is showing for pretty much the Stalker all in, it looks like, as he's warping in more of the slow pylon here.
Yeah, actually, did Jensen or Romson didn't manage to build Blink, did he? So.
No, he has no tech besides Warp Gate. So I would like to see more gates though, because he's only on 4 right now, and I mean 1 down here for fast warp-ins could be really helpful.
Yeah, so this mine's gonna do so much damage.
Mine gets a good hit. Second mine's also does a lot of damage.
Get so bruised, yeah.
They do, and of course without shields, I mean they're gonna die very, very quickly to 2 Cyclones. Sentries do counter a lot of that damage, but mines don't actually get to get the cheeky burrows.
Yeah, so the Guardian Shield finally wears off, so full damage from these range units are going to be able to go off, but there's still a lot of units, and these... Oh no!
Oh man. Mines
so much damage.
Are definitely the MVPs, as one of them has 3 kills. Of course, quite a few other mines have died already.
Yeah, but those were the chosen mines. Those are the mines that were from the very beginning of the fight, and they just keep getting value.
They are. Stim is done for Gens, and he does have +1 halfway done, whereas the Twilight Council is only about halfway done for Romson. But I think Romson's in a good spot. You know, he has his 3rd Nexus up, and he's already up 15 workers. So I think he could just kind of keep pressuring a little and then go into macro.
Yeah, despite Jens getting 12 worker kills in the beginning, he just drops far behind to the triple chrono 3 bases from Romson.
He does, and of course losing 8 workers himself definitely hurts him economically, but already with chrono boost he was going to be behind.
Yeah.
3rd CC is on its way. Sadly we can't pull up the income graph in this game as Game Heart wasn't used, but he does finally spot this pylon. Probe's actually still down here, which I think is kind of interesting. He didn't go to put any other buildings down.
Yeah, the probe's just kind of on its own. You know what's talking about that smoke break that the SC is on? That probe is on a very extended smoke break.
Do probes really need to smoke though? I mean, they're not like people. They're machines. I mean,
Wait,
I guess that's why machines do smoke sometimes, so maybe it is a smoke break.
wait, Yellow Pickle, are you telling me you're going to discriminate against machines and people?
I'm just
I didn't know
saying,
you
I
like
don't.
this.
I didn't realize that machines had an interest in smoking. I didn't realize they had addictive personalities. But I guess if Binder's shown us anything, they have very addictive personalities.
Yeah, I can't believe you were this discriminatory, Yama. I thought you were a better person than this. Telling me that machines can't also have smoke breaks.
I try not
Come
to
on now.
discriminate, but sometimes against Protoss it comes out.
Okay, that's fair. I can see that.
Lots of defenses for Romson here, as he also has double upgrades on the way. Going for armor first before anything else, but his blink is about halfway done also. And there is that first robo, just about to finish up as he has quite a few more gates going down. 8 in total? Yeah, 8 gates. Not all of
Yeah.
them made into warp gates just yet though. There's that +1 attack. Also being chrono boosted out, so he's just looking to play really safe. His worker lead's still sitting strong at 17, but as his third orbital command's finishing up, I think Mules are going to help balance that out.
Yeah, ooh,
And
double mind drop just kind of threatening the main right now.
it is. Of course, there is a photon cannon here, so I don't think he's really going to be able to find much damage with that. Not without risking losing too much of it. One of the mines is bruised up, so there's a big risk of that dying. As actually a fourth base is on the way for Romson, and maybe he's looking to take a fast fifth also. I suppose it's just a scouting pylon.
Yeah, just in case anything pops up there.
Now, of course, watchtowers are taken by Marines right now, so Jins has a big map vision advantage. But nevertheless, I think Romson, if he could just kind of hold on to this fourth base, is going to be in a really good eco position, but I don't think he can. He's down about 40 army supply.
And also, Robson doesn't have any splash to counter the heavy bio ball from Jens. I actually think Robson might lose his game because he doesn't still. He only just now is making his first Colossus, so
Is that
let's
now?
see how this goes.
He has +2 armor on the way, and +1 is just about to be finishing up. Once he gets charged and extended thermal lance, I don't think he's going to be. That was about like 12 worker kills, I believe. Maybe a few more.
That was possibly the best Widowmine shots I have seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah, I don't actually think Jins could have hoped for the hits to be quite that well.
Yeah, just that Widowmine, the blinks being slightly late, but that Widowmine hit on mineral line itself just probably evened out the workers, and I'm pretty sure Jen's just sort of ahead in income because of that.
He is, yeah, actually Jin's ahead of 6 workers. He has the army supply advantage, but Colossi are starting to be produced, 2 of them at a time. Again, I think he might just be able to hold on to the 4th this time around, but he's lost that eco lead. And actually,
Yeah,
mines
and
get
these,
really good hits, kill both the sentries. I'm sorry, no, one of them did manage to survive, but quickly focused down.
yeah, so the Colossus, there's a lot of Mirages in the army, so this Colossus doesn't get as much value as it should be getting.
No,
As we can see, a lot of Marauders just being left over.
of course, Stalker is still being made. Those mines are going to be a little bit of a problem for the charge lots, who are rushing forward. Gonna eat all the mine shots, but they all do die at the same time.
Yeah, we have a very nice concave coming out from Jens, but with the splash of the Colossus slowly eating away at the Bio Ball, I think Romson has successfully defended off this push.
Yeah, I agree. I think Romson got that 4th base up, and if he keeps just producing Colossi... Oh, actually... Empty medevacs, but it's a big deal to be losing those gas units.
Yeah, actually, I think there's a charge lot harass at the bottom there.
There
I
is,
don't know
yeah.
if it killed anything. I think it just kind of traded up with Bio there.
Yeah, I don't think it killed anything, just gave him a scout. Now, of course, 2-2 did just finish up for the Terran, whereas there's 2 armor, and then +2 Protoss weapons, about 3/4 of the way done. So, a little bit of an advantage, and actually this mine's going to get a pretty decent hit. Mostly just killed shields, though.
Yep, I mean, a mine trading out for one stalker is always like a trade that you want as Terran, just because they do cost a lot less than a stalker does.
They do, and they're a little bit easier to produce if you have a decent factory count. 3-3 is on the way, and +3 Protoss ground armor also on the way. +2 weapons just finishing up, and we do see ship weapons on the way, as a few more starports are being made, and also liberators. So it does look like the more late game army for both players is on the way. Temple Archives just finished up. we'll see some High Templars and probably Storm pretty quickly being produced.
Yep. He's the Cyclone's being chased around by the Stalker.
I think the Stalker actually could win at this point, couldn't it?
That
A
seems.
half
I mean,
health
yeah.
Cyclone? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, actually, the Cyclone would be doing what, like 2 damage per shot to the Stalker, so doing very low damage because it doesn't have any upgrades.
Yeah. Stalker could have definitely won that, but it's going to keep map vision. And actually, I mean, if he keeps its shields up, it could just kind of poke in, attack, and back off. Warp Prism on the way, and so is +3 weapons for the Protoss. I think that's a smart call. He's going to get a lot of harassment potential. He is still up a whole base, and he's finally gotten that worker lead back. And yeah, that probe, I guess, finally got off the smoke break that I kind of don't think it deserved, and made a pylon at some point.
I want to talk to the probe unit at this point. Talk about Caster Yon Pickle not thinking that probes get what they deserve for existing.
Hey, I mean,
Man.
my drones are always working. They never really stop until I sacrifice them to make a Baneling nest and all in. But
Yeah,
I don't think probes should be allowed to take smoke breaks if drones can't.
yeah. See, this is the reason why I think we need to find a union for the probes. This Marine getting a lot of shots off. It makes it pretty funny. Oh man.
He gets a full scout of the army. Marines are like, yo, there's a lot of shit coming our way, man. I don't know why they haven't killed me yet, but
Yeah.
there's like 5 Colossi right on top of me.
Yeah, the Colossus walk up and they're like, what the fuck is this shit? And they just shoot down the Marine, ending his life almost instantly.
At least the Marine had no pain when he died. He was terrified, just completely shitless scared, but he didn't have any pain.
Yeah, instantly vaporized by the heat wave of the Colossus. Oh man.
I really like this Dark Shrine, and also going into Stargate tech, but he has that Warp Prism floating around somewhere. And
Ooh, really good choke there, actually, for the Colossus, I say, as the Stalkers blink away and allow the Concave to happen for the Bio Ball. I do think that the Bio Ball does come out in the end because of how many Vikings there are.
Yeah, I think the Vikings really won that fight, taking down the Colossi.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess the Warp Prism did get focused down at some point, probably by these missile turrets, so second one's not going to get to do too much, but nevertheless, I think DTs are a smart idea. He can run them in to this 4th base. Try to harass there.
Yeah, we'll see if this 5th base gets harassed by this drop. Actually, was Storm ever completed? I actually don't recall seeing it on the production tab. I could be insane.
No, he never did Storm. Actually, yeah, I mean, there's 4 Archons, but he really hasn't focused on that tech too much. Losing all the Colossi, though, did really take the momentum away from the Protoss. But he has his 5th done. We do see Ghosts being made out of 3 barracks right now, so I mean, that's really going to help against Archon play. Going to really drain those shields.
Yeah, we see the 5th base floating down on top of that pylon.
Yeah, not going to be able to find anything there, and actually with the Warp Prism, he can just get fast warp ins with Stalkers. Kind of poke at it, but I do think these Marauders and Ghosts are going to run down and kill that pylon pretty fast. And actually, that's an interesting choice. He's getting the Warp Prism speed upgrade, which makes Warp Prisms pretty damn fast, but you don't see it very often.
Yeah, I guess since we're going to like the Supreme late game, Romson's just going to get every upgrade that he thinks will be slightly relevant to the units he's using.
Yeah, kind of makes sense. He is getting his 2nd Stargate out, and Fleet Beacon's on its way, so we're probably going to see carriers instead of Colossi pretty soon. Still a very Stalker-heavy army. Not too many Archons or charge slots in it.
Yeah, and I really do think the lack of Storm is a huge mistake for Romson. If he had Storms, he'd be able to just shred through this Bio Ball, but with the EMPs are good.
EMPs do a lot of damage, and all the Colossi and an Archon die.
Yeah, I think this might just be it for Romson. I don't think he can hold back this just huge swell of bio units, I say, as the Zealots chip down the command center.
Actually, yeah, it's on fire. Actually, that's probably going to die if he just sends the charge slots in to kill those workers, but going to recall them home instead. And I agree. I think Jins is in a great position right now. All those heavy tech units have been killed for Romson. There's still the Ghost, still the Liberator count there for Jins.
Yeah, so these Liberators just zone out so much of the army on that side. And even if he does go through, he's going to lose so much army to these Liberators. And the Liberators, yeah. Oh, man.
Colossi, once again, gets focused down pretty fast. I think the charge slots are going to be able to clean up the bio pretty well with the Archons. And he does kill most of the Vikings, so not a bad trade overall for Romson there.
Actually, a much better fight than I expected. I guess the Vikings were taking up so much supply that I didn't notice. So he actually got a much better, like, just the Vikings weren't doing damage for half the fight.
No, they weren't. I
I
mean,
thought they
really,
were.
with just one Colossi, the Vikings weren't worth too much. I don't think he's going to keep making them. And actually keeps denying this 5th base longer and longer. Main's fully been mined out for gens, and Natural's about halfway there. Same with the 3rd, so really he needs to get that 5th up. That
Yeah,
is, that's going to be a huge eco lead. I mean, already Romson's up 10 workers, but just denying that mining as he takes his own 6.
yeah, Jensen is floating a huge bank, but all that money can disappear very quickly with every army engagement that they have.
They could. Now, of course, still no Storm in this army, and it's actually a lot more Archon Charge Lot heavy now. So those Liberators going to be able to kind of focus on him a little bit better.
Ooh, Liberator so is just setting up very nicely, but the actually the Immortals stopped focusing them, so they're gonna get a lot of shots off. So I think that was enough damage for the Bios to actually just push through in the end, despite not having any Vikings. Maybe the Lucky Vikings is gonna bite Jens in the ass here as he is pushed off.
It could. He really needs to get rid of this Warp Prism right now, as this is going to let him keep reinforcing with more Stalkers and Charge Lots.
Yeah, so this Planetary Force is actually gonna do a lot of damage with the splash.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
yeah.
actually know if Romson can take a good fight here.
There are still 2 Ghosts in that army, but they don't have too much energy, it looks like.
Yeah, so we're gonna see the stem forward. He's gonna try and focus on the Colossus immediately. Actually, he can't because of the Zealot Meat Shield, I suppose.
That's what it looks like. Feedbacks went down on, I believe, Medivacs. And actually, there's
Yeah.
Warp Prism Micro to save that Colossi. And that makes that a really good trade there for Romson.
Yeah, that DT is actually. Oh, just kidding.
Ah, ran to its death. High Templar probably also going to get focused down by these Stem Marines. I don't think he can keep pushing, though.
Yeah, this second Colossus joining the battle actually really does turn the tides. There's still no Vikings. Medvac's getting completely out of energy. Liberation zones will probably fend off this the remainder of this push, but he really needs that next base.
He does, and unfortunately he's having such a hard time getting it up, where there's still already 12 workers actually going at that 6th base for Romson. Still
Yeah,
no later tech, though. He still hasn't started Storm. He hasn't done anything with his Fleet Beacon or Stargates.
yeah. I almost wish that. I mean, I'm not sure if Jen scouted that base, but if he just knew, he could send like 3 Marines up there just to take away some of that attention from Romson.
Yeah, definitely. Go for that double mine drop again. Worked very well the first time. But he needs to get some eco damage done. He's starting to float. Oh, I'm sorry, no, Romson's starting to float more, so eco damage isn't going to mean a huge amount, but it is going to add up if he can get like 5 or 10 worker killed.
Yep. Liberations is going to set up on top of the command center just so that if Zealots do run in, they won't go completely shredded down for free before it turns into a planetary.
Yeah, and of course, only issue with this kind of position, he has to split his Liberators to really be safe, but it doesn't look like Romson wants to engage right now.
Yeah,
Well,
Scan's confirming that's there, but I still really wish that Jens went out for at least some pressure. Ooh, this
this is smart.
yeah, very good idea. I think if Jens overcommits at all, Romson's just going to be able to move through and bust through the space.
He could, yeah. And unfortunately, that's so many Zealots, he really needs to respond. DT's picking off workers there.
And Jens is actually just going to completely ignore that and try and go for the killing blow. The Vikings doing very well against Colossus, but he's going to get pushed back from the insane amount of splash damage. And after dealing with Colossus, he could push through all the way, but that doesn't discount the fact that these Zealots and DCs have done so much damage to his economy.
They have workers killed, actually evened out from that double mine drop earlier. 29 and 29, but he's almost lost the command center, had to lift it though, and lift another one as well. And that DT is still there, so actually he needs to land that, otherwise he can't deal with that DT. He doesn't have scans available.
DT is doing so much in this game. I mean, he could have EMP'd with the Ghost.
I think that's what he did. I'm not sure really what happened. Maybe he got recalled out?
Yeah, maybe. 16 kill Dark Templar, that's insane.
Yeah, another base going down for Romson. Being 2 bases up and really like just so many workers up, about 30. He's in just a great position. I like the fact that he's going for a War Prism, because his other one did get focused down during that fight.
Yeah, and Jens just continues to make ghosts even though there's no High Templar on the other side. really do feel like Marauders would just be so much better than Ghosts in this position.
Maybe, but of course, getting to deal with the Cloak of the DTs and then just draining all those shields off the Stalkers and Archons definitely could make the Ghosts pay for themselves, but he's going to need really good EMPs.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. This next fight might just decide the game because Jens needs to be able to push through this army very efficiently in order to keep having a chance. I think this DT is...
It's going up to the third again.
oh,
That's
man.
such cheeky play. He's going to get so many worker kills there. Well, 7 to be specific, but...
Yeah.
At this point, really, Jens can't afford to lose 7 workers, and there we see that number starting to... Well, only went down actually 2. He was very quick on the pool, gets the scan, so... I was
actually
wrong.
Some Marauder first trouble. But this push is coming in, and that's a very good position for Protoss, I think. Actually, he's gonna get flanked from 2 sides.
He is. Colossi are doing a lot of damage, but the Vikings are trying to focus him down as the game just kind of stops for you. Yeah, that's you. Alright.
Yeah.
So yeah, Colossi getting focused down by the Vikings, but Colossi did a lot of damage during that time. Oh, War Prism did go down though. And so actually this push is going to get pushed away.
The SCV body block was... I don't know if that was relevant or not, actually. Wasn't too sure.
I'm not sure really how intentional that was. It looked like a lot of the SCVs were in the front and back, so I don't know if he knew where he wanted them to be at, but big army supply advantage right now for Jens. Of course, being down 38 workers is going to hurt him. He's going to need to go do eco pressure, as he is still down 2 bases as well.
Yeah, and I don't think he can take his army down anymore because there's barely any long-range or efficient splash damage. And again, I really feel like the lack of Storm here is hurting Romson so much more than it could have potentially helped him, as the landed Vikings are just shredded through so many things with the bio on the ground.
Yeah, I agree. We see really both sides losing about equal army supplies so far, so I do think Jins is going to be able to push in and do eco damage.
Yeah, he still has double the supply of Romson despite that trade, and I think this Nexus is going to go down along with most of the workers. Actually, these DTs
could make the difference here.
Yeah, he has to scan, and he hasn't scanned yet, so he will, but I think it's too late. Maybe? It's really hard to say. This medic back cloud is just hiding everything underneath their large size.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, everything did pretty much die for both sides, really. But of course, that did even out the worker count once again, as 50 workers have died for Romson, and then 42 for Jins.
Yeah, the medevac cloud just flies away with a bunch of Vikings, I think, actually. This DT.
Of course, fucking DTs. Always a good way to piss people off, as he realizes, I'm just not going to be able to take that base. The worker count been reset now for Romson as well. He's at 55, and he is still down a lot of army supply. Still just going for that Colossi play instead of trying to tech up into carriers. I don't feel like he has the eco to go for carriers, of course.
Yeah, this DT, this high tempo, if it had Storm...
Oh, if it had Storm, so much damage would be done.
But sadly, there is still no Storm. I still don't understand why he refuses to... Oh, this recall. Pretty
really
good.
Smart recall.
Probably lost support. Actually, that Colossus, I think that was recall on the wrong side.
I think you're right. It looks like he got focused down right away, or maybe it just wasn't recalled. Don't know what happened to it, though. Looks like most of the medevacs will get out of there fine, but of course they're all low on energy and a number are wounded.
Yeah, the medevacs getting a lot, actually, like, giving out so much value, though. Like, these medevacs have been alive for so long, and I think they're maybe have been integral to Romson, or to Jens being able to stay in the game as long as he can, as he has been.
Yeah, definitely. He stayed in for a lot longer than I was expecting with the worker lead that Romson had for a while. Of course, I like his mass ghost production that's going on as more Archons and High Templars are being added in. I don't know, though. I guess Romson knows he doesn't have Storm because he's still just focusing on Archons and mostly Charge Lots. But I don't know. I feel like just a few Storms would have added so much in some of these engagements.
Yeah, it looks like this ball is going to try and find an engagement. I don't know why else to be moving so aggressively, and they're going to try to hunt down that command center.
Oh man, if they get that command center, that's going to be almost like a game-ending move against Jins. But I think Jins is going to be able to save it and probably actually trade well if he gets good EMPs out.
Yeah, there's a drop finally flying out for the first time in what feels like forever, but there's a lot of cannons to deal with it, so he's going to drop right behind the mineral line, do anything.
Still, a lot of damage could be done there. He needs to find some as he's so far behind on workers. Not really trying to remake any of the ones he's lost, but he doesn't really have a base for him to mine from either. And his army's going to be able to try to get in, but the EMPs are good. Charizards lose a lot of storms. He focuses a few of them down. This drop, though,
Yeah.
gonna be cleaned up probably by these 3 Zealots.
Yeah, actually, I think the HG is there to like feed back the medevac, but
I think
we'll
you're right.
see. Yep.
Yeah.
So there's going to be engagement in that area of the map. The TT is slapping away that command center, but again, without any dedicated real splash and mass, the drops getting picked up and the shields.
The shield battery. Shield battery,
Yeah.
I think, prevented any workers from dying this whole time.
Yeah,
And
he
High
does get
Templar
two
still
zealots.
just there.
Yeah, the High Templar. He's like, you know what? I don't need storms to defend drops. I just need a fucking feedback.
That's weird. I actually can't like zoom in and go over to him. I can kind of look at him. I still can't really ever see him up close. But yeah, just kind of chilling there in the corner.
He's actually a shy High Templar. He doesn't want you to know he's there.
He's a Shy Templar.
He's a shy Templar, yeah.
It's gonna be the new unit added in StarCraft 3.
Yeah.
You have the Dark Templars, you have the High Templars, and we're gonna add in the Light Templars and the Shy Templars.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. The Drunk Templars.
Yeah, Drunk Templars, we got the Fire Templar, the Ice Templar. Just gonna get all the different kinds of Pokemon, actually.
That's true.
And
What's with the the recall and
to save the base.
Oh, I actually don't know if that recall is good. We'll have to see what happens because that recall allowed for a lot of free damage to initially get brought up by the Terran army. The Colossus is in a super good spot this time, man. Oh wow, he actually managed to defend that off. If the Colossus spawned on the other side like it did last time, I think that might have just instantly have been over.
It might have. He did get a lot of the medevacs picked off there with all the stalkers. And actually, yeah, Jins is really needing that base for mining as he couldn't actually get that one. Did save the command center though.
Yeah, is that Templar still just chilling at that base blocking?
It is, yeah. I don't get why he didn't just float over to this base. I guess he assumes there's a DT there also.
Yeah, actually, this just really speaks to Romson's like lack of F2ing because that DT has been there, just not ever moving.
Planetary gets focused down right away. Not too much mining left here though. Yeah, most of the gas is already gone also, so not too big of a deal, but losing all of the army, Jins is gonna have to GG out.
Yeah, very impressive play from Romson, just not getting at all, like still managing to push through and win. Very cool.
Very solid play. Really surprising he just never added on Storm. I feel like 2 or 3 High Templars worth of Storm would have let him win that much earlier.
Yeah, it was very, very cool. So I'm going to restart my client. Hopefully that resets the lag that I've been getting.
Hopefully
Don't really know what's going on with that.
It does. Then I'm going to whisper Romson, let him know we'll be casting him again, as we're currently waiting on him and Half-Breed to play. Then we will go on to the finals. One of those players against 3DB.
You mean Uko?
Oh, no, you're right. The finals will be against Uko, yes, but the losers round final will be against 3DB.
Right. I actually didn't even see that was there. I had it scrolled to the left, so I just assumed Half-Breed versus, Romson will be the last one. I didn't realize that 3DB yet. Huh. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so we'll get that pulled up real fast. So yeah, gonna be casting Half-Breed versus Romson. Winner of that will play 3DB, and the winner of that will play Uko, who's getting quite a long break right now. Well, he just waits. Hopefully Uko here in the chat kind of watching, seeing what his potential opponents are doing. Actually, yeah, Uko in chat.
Yep. Getting some nice research done. Being able to watch the best of 3 for the losers bracket final is actually really important too, because he will be able to just get so much information on his opponent, especially if it's 3 long games.
Yeah, he'll get tons of information, and he'll probably be able to see, okay, he plays this map this way, but that map that way, and he'll probably have different vetoes thanks to that.
Yeah, just overall, he gets to have so much information. His opponent will also be maybe a bit fatigued from playing so many games in a row, while Uko is just chilling.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help Uko. Of course, 3DB's kind of in the same spot. I believe 3DB could have been watching that last game. Yeah, because 3DB played Uko, so 3DB's able to have watched that game, will be watching this next game. It's going to know what their opponent's doing.
Yep. So we'll have to see when this next game, Romson vs. Half-Breed, comes out.
Yep. Romson knows we'll be casting again. Just probably he's taking a break after that 30-minute game. Really wouldn't blame him. 30-minute games kind of suck.
Yeah, it was very intense. Like he played it pretty well considering. Actually, yeah, just considering everything, he played it very, very well.
Yeah, it was very impressive play, really out of both sides. Especially Jin's, he was on such a low economy a lot of that time. But I think that mine hit was really the MVP of that whole game. Either that or that one DT.
Yeah, there's a lot of worker damage coming out from both sides, which is really cool because I remember, like again, like the direction that Blizzard wants to move towards isn't about just ending the game immediately. It's about, it seems like it's moving more towards very small advantages, or in terms of the one of mine hit or the DT harassment, very large advantages you can get from worker kills and economic damage, as opposed to just destroying an army instantly and moving on from there.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the desire right now. Get rid of the death balls. Try to get back that kind of like Brood War style of fight going on here, fight going on the other side, some harass going on. I'd like to see that. I think that'd be a lot more fun. I've been doing that recently in my Zerg versus Protoss games, where I've been like Nidusing and being very aggressive with it, trying to hit like 3 bases all at once.
Oh man, that
It's
sounds hectic as hell.
it's fun until I kill like all but like 10 of his workers, but almost none of his army, and I'm still on just like Roach Hydra or Bane Hydra, and he just pushes across with 8 Immortals and kills me. It's like,
Small details.
I've been Protossed
So,
once again, but I had fun doing it at least.
that's fair. You don't feel as frustrated losing against it when you're fucking around the entire time.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to do Niduses like that and still tech up and hit all my injects. God, 3 bases
Oh,
and trying to
true.
do injects at the same time sucks.
I can see that. So in response to Uko's our chat, yeah, like learning how to play TVP, or knowing how to play against Romsim in TVP is really important, right? Because you definitely are a Terran player, definitely not a Zerg player by any means.
There we go. Are you back in client at this point? Yeah, you are. But I don't
Yeah, I've
think
been back in
you.
clan. I haven't been invited. I can just join
Nah.
through you.
Yeah, I was about to invite you.
You
Yep.
invite me? Perish the thought.
The one time.
Yeah.
So gonna be on Backwater once again.
Yep.
This
And
time,
hopefully
however,
my,
Zerg
lag
versus
sometimes.
Protoss.
Yeah, so this game's gonna be helpful for Uko. I mean, this game's not gonna be helpful for Uko at all. Happy asking for no lag casters. Yeah, if I lag, I'll just drop out and just listen to Yama struggle by himself.
Hey, I don't struggle. I struggle gracefully.
All right,
The ship
I'll
might be
give you that one.
sinking, but it looks good while it's doing it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay,
Was-
so restarting my client seems to just completely fix that lag problem. Now I know for the future.
Now we know it's this Blizzard. They can't fix anything. Can't fix charge lots. Can't fix dropper lords. Can't fix the client.
Goddamn. Come on, dude.
So
Alright.
in the top left corner, the purple Protoss, who seems to have forgotten that he's playing a Zerg and needs to wall off. It is the returning player Romson. And then in the bottom right corner, the blue Zerg, who's probably going to realize that the Protoss doesn't have a wall off and all in, but hopefully not. It is half-breed.
Yep, so Romson is once again just going for the not natural wall off build, which is I think the exact same thing this is the exact same build that he did when I was lagging out that one time. So
You're right, but he ended up losing that game, so kind of interesting
yeah.
he chooses to do that again. I mean, just walling here is such a smart idea. You get safety for 3 different bases.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and the gateway doesn't actually block his mineral line from being attacked too, so his base is just very, very open.
You can't see, of course. My jaw's kind of dropped. I'm thinking, goddamn, this has got a GM guy. My diamond opponents are walling off. Why can't they play like him? I wish I would see this.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like a very, very heavy metagame. Because I think that the most people he plays on ladder might just be going for very greedy builds, so this is just like a counter to that greedy build with another greedy build.
I mean, yeah, it's very risky. But I guess the plus side is he's able to high tech as long as Lings don't run in. Pool is about to finish up. We'll see how aggressive Half-Breed decides to breed. He still hasn't actually spotted this lack of a wall off, and he's definitely not expecting it. Actually, not sure. Yeah, that Overlord will spot it. No Lings being produced yet, though, and actually no Link speed either. He got on his gas a little bit late. Should be starting up right around now, though.
Yep, we see it pop, and he might just start making a bunch of lings. Like, we see his Overlord being selected. Just, I can just feel, oh, actually he makes a drone.
He's making, all right. I think he's very confused right now. He sees the natural nexus and just one pylon, but still not making more Lings.
Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna opt to, I'm actually not sure. He's just gonna macro up, I guess.
I want to say he's going to do like a 3-base Ling Bane Flood type of thing, but
Yeah, let's see what his next round of larva go towards. More drones for Half-Breed. So maybe this is the type of play that Romson generally encounters when he goes for this build.
it could be. And maybe Half-Breed was thinking too, like, oh, if I don't move anything out yet, he'll take longer to put the wall off up, but is going to see a third gateway going down. Same wall off as last time. Actually, Overlord might get out of there. I'm not quite sure, though. I think it will get focused down.
Yeah, so actually, I think if Half-Breed was watching the stream, he would have. I mean, I guess he wouldn't have because you couldn't have seen it because I slightly screwed up the stream that time, but he might have inferred that Romson's Zerg opponent at that time just link flooded him with drop orbs and all that.
Definitely. Of course, this means, of course, this is like a fresh game for everyone. It's not going to be a repeat of last time, thanks to how the stream was before.
Yep, only you and me get a repeat, but no one else knows what we're talking about.
No, we're just seeming a little bit crazy. Lair's already on its way. That's a little bit early, but it's not too crazy. And it's taking 2 more gases.
Oh man, I'm gonna call it right now. We're gonna see Nidus.
You know,
I feel it in my toes.
I kind of have that feeling too. He has the Roach Warren coming down. Roaches do well with a Nidus.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I don't even know why I'm so excited. But he doesn't have enough queens for a Nidus word play, I think. So
No,
see.
the great thing with a Nidus though, right? He gets the Nidus set up like while he's dealing with all the charge slots, kills the charge slots, and then just runs across the map instantly and does eco damage, or the opposite, does eco damage and runs back home and defends. But I think he needs to start pumping out units right now to deal with this.
Yeah, the Roach Warren, I feel like is a bit late. I usually get the Roach Warren before the lair, right? So the Roaches are going to come out, but not in time for this Zealot push. So he might take a lot of damage.
He will, yeah. One Queen's going to get charged down right away.
Yep. Just headbutting that Queen until she explodes into a gooey mess. Looks like they're going to go for this next Queen.
Yeah, probably going to actually just go jump on the economy. Now, Roaches are just going to be popping, but quite a few workers already dying. 4, maybe a 5th gets focused down. Roaches will eventually pick away if they wanted to at that Roach Warren, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, the drones are actually fighting, but they were behind the road, so they actually weren't doing anything. Looks like they're in a whole position, but the Zealots are just going to attack up them and mow them down. How interesting.
Yeah. Kind of bad placement, I would say, of the drones and the Roaches. Out of Half-Breed, but these charge losses coming right in. Already 14 workers go down, and just more are going to be dropping here.
Yo, what a game. Actually, like, it's just so interesting that Half-Breed saw the Nexus first. I guess this is really how these games are supposed to go in Rob's eyes, where the Zerg opponent just doesn't respect the charge lot push coming in, because I don't think that was all in by any means. He still has, Immortals coming out. He has very good worker saturation, and he has the Templar Archives coming down. So unless he does absolutely 0 damage with that Zealot attack, he's still in a very good position.
Yeah, no, that was definitely just a pressure. It wasn't an all-in. He droned the entire time behind that, sitting at 63 workers, and looks like he's willing to hold this position to where he can safely start taking that 4th.
Yeah, and the Phoenix scouts everything that Half-Breed is throwing at him, and I'm pretty sure these 4 are absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, Force
Two get
Fields...
trapped for free.
Force Fields could definitely keep doing damage, but with 2 Immortals, the Roaches really just can't do anything anyways. We do see a Hydra Den and the Evo Chamber on the way. Half-Breed already up to 49 workers, and he's droning very aggressively, of course, trying to recover from that damage.
Yeah, he might actually over-drone for 3 bases point if he makes too many. I think it probably won't be too big of a deal. He is trying to get that 4th hatchery down, or 4th base down,
Yeah,
I guess
and
it's a hatchery.
Romson may have spotted that if he was watching right there, but of course since hatchery wasn't started yet, he doesn't have it on his mini map that the building's there.
Yeah, he could have seen the drone patrolling, but he wouldn't have known if he wasn't looking at that drone patrolling there.
No. There we go. Yep, fourth base being taken, both players. But of course, that's never really where you want to be as a Zerg. You want to be up on bases. I think Lurker Den's a very good call, though. I think that's going to give him kind of that comeback potential once he gets +1 in the Hydra upgrades.
Yeah, the Lurker AoE definitely can punish a Protoss who doesn't position correctly very heavily, and that might be the break that Halfbreed needs in order to claw his way back into the game. Because he's still down on workers, he's down on army supply. In terms of tech, I think he's also like barely behind because the Lurker Den still isn't finished.
No, and
And
Storm could be on the way. If Romson ever
yeah,
made Storm, of course.
yeah. If you know anything about his TVP, he doesn't like storms. So, and that actually could be the benefit that Halfbreed needs.
Now, I kind of like these links here, but they're going to pick away the shield battery and cannon. Yeah, Charizard's going to focus him down pretty easily. That does take away 4 Warpins here at the front line, but I think there's just enough Archons and Charizards to push right through that Roach Hydra. I don't think there's really
Yeah,
much of a chance that the army or this base is going to be left for Half-Breed.
yeah. These force fields are going to be absolutely nasty. Already picking up over half of the roaches. I mean, they help the Hydras out, but that doesn't matter. He's just going to pick away at that fourth base, and he could very easily recall out if he wanted to. But it looks like he's just going to press the issue and just trying to end the game right here with this very scary, very powerful push.
Yeah, and I think he has a potential. Force Field's not really doing what he was hoping they would, but he still has a Warp Prism right here, and he's just pushing in closer and closer to that mineral line.
Yeah, the Hydras can kite, but there's only so far you can kite as the big balls of energy just barreling down at them with Zealots in front of the tank and everything just melting to the shots as everything goes wrong for Half-Breed here as he GG's out of the game.
Yeah, it leaves the game no GG, but I believe that was an intentional leave.
Yep, so Thompson taking the game and moving up into the lower bracket finals, I believe.
Should be the finals. Yeah,
Yep.
Romson and 3DB. Uko in chat saying that he's played versus Romson before. He's learned that the hard way, so I'm guessing in a previous tournament, Romson's play kind of took down Uko, but...
No, actually, I think Uko versus Romson was the game that I was lagging on. Yeah, it was that game. So
Oh, you're right, it
Uko,
was, yeah. And Uko, though,
oh,
he won 2-0.
yeah.
So
So I think Uko is just just confirming the information he knows already about Romson's play.
he could be, and of course, Uko also beat 3DB, so either way in this final, whether wins, Romson or 3DB, they're going to be playing Uko once again.
Yeah, and Uko is, and I mean, in terms of this very small sample size, he is favored towards them, so they have to pull out some new tricks out of his sleeves in order to beat him.
Yeah, I think we'll see some very clever builds out of all the players in the finals. But I'm very excited for this next series. It will be a best of 3, correct? For the
Yep.
lower bracket final.
Yep. Yeah, all these players that are up here, like, they all have such cool plays, like, cool builds I would have never thought of. But unfortunately, I'm not a Zerg nor a Protoss player, so the only Terran I've seen has already been knocked out. Actually, has there been another Terran? I don't remember if I've actually spectated another Terran so far in this tournament. I think was
I'm
Tranquility.
trying to think. I haven't seen everything you've casted tonight, of course, but I didn't see any others.
Yeah, I want to say that Tranquillo was a Terran, but
I'm gonna
looks
try
like I'm
to
being
get WCS Gameheart for this next game. That way we can see a little bit easier how many workers are dying, as I assume there'll be quite a few.
yeah, be a lot of fun. Looks like in the chat people are commenting on Half-Breed. There's either fucking Half-Breed or classic Half-Breed. So maybe he's known for this type of leading the game style.
Could be.
Hard to say though.
Of course, Half-Breed played pretty greedy, I would say. Didn't really kind of scout what he was going up against, and that hurt him. If he could have held against all that damage from those charge lots, I think he would have been a fine position, but...
Yeah, I think the Roach Worm was just a bit like if the Roach Worm was like 20 seconds earlier, he would have been able to hold it off. But again, we have caster vision. He doesn't, so he wouldn't have known.
Of course, yeah, you would have had to have scouted that, and one issue with Twilight first builds, you never really know what they're doing. If it's Blinkstalker, you don't want Roaches, but if it's Adepts or Zealots, you do, especially against Zealots.
Yeah, Zealous versus Roaches are always quite fun to watch.
Once again, going to be playing on Backwater. Of course, we will have a best of 3 this time, so we will get to see 2 other maps at least. Forestalling, just ready to jump into this. So it's going to be another Zerg versus Protoss. Curious if Romson goes for the exact same build once again, or if he doesn't want to risk that. Oh, actually, you're not in the lobby.
Am I ever in lobby? No one wants me, Optical. No one wants me. Okay. Probably gonna go buy some drinks after we're done here. In like maybe like an hour.
Hour? We still got a best of 3 and a best of 5, boy.
Yeah, so that's like an hour, right? You don't think so?
I mean, I would say like, let's say about 10 minutes per game, right?
Oh, that's true. So an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a
That
half,
seems,
somewhere in that area.
that seems like around the exact time that the exact time that Charmquack told me. He kept telling me that something like around 5 hours for his tournament. It looks like his prediction was gonna be basically exactly correct.
Good admins can always predict it, right down to the minute, really, you know? It's going to be
Yeah.
exactly 10:05 when we have a winner.
All right. We'll go with that one.
So we'll see which player can end up winning here in this first game. In the bottom right corner, we have the purple Protoss on Backwater for the 3rd time now. Gonna see if he's going for that same build against Zerg. It is Romson. And then in the top left corner, hopefully not going to be quite as greedy for their own sake, and going to get that Roach Horn a little bit earlier if they scout that same build. It is the light pink Zerg forestalling.
Yep. So I actually believe that forestalling would have 100% been watching the stream that game. So I believe that Romson. I mean, who knows what Romson's thinking, but I think he recognizes that maybe, or maybe just wants to swap it up a little bit. So he is going to go for a much more standard build this time.
Yeah, I think he recognizes the risk in not walling off of the natural. Of course, forestalling, kind of probably realizing he's going to do that, not going for a pull first build. Could still make quite a few lings though. Could still do Dropper Lord play. That nerf hasn't hit quite yet.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to be seeing the wall off at the natural. So this is going to be probably more of a standard game, at least at the beginning. But we could still see that charge lot all in coming.
Okay, so it's very interesting, but Romson actually made that Nexus much earlier. He actually cut a lot of ropes for this build.
You're right, he hasn't been mining gas. That's interesting. I don't know Protoss builds super well. I mean, I play Protoss, I'm diamond with him, but I'm not really like good at builds. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what he's going to choose to cut.
Yeah, he made the Nexus at 18, and then made the second gateway also at 18.
Yeah.
So everything is just very, very early. I wonder what type of all this is. And actually, forestalling, I think he believes, like, he hasn't even seen it yet, but he's already making 8 links just sent across the map in case that Romson hasn't, walled it off.
Of course,
man,
2
so
Adepts
funny.
will be out. So unless the Adepts just kind of like shade across the map and miss the lings, Romson's going to be able to hold against them.
Yeah,
Actually,
I think.
Yeah, the pathing's going to have them just kind of go in and actually start attacking the wall right away. But it does look like they're going to be able to get past the Adepts.
The Adept Shades will. Oh, the Adept Shades. Actually, did you see the Adepts running past right with the Overlords? I didn't catch that.
I think the Overlord did see it. Now, he does have some lings at home, but I think he needs to run all those in. This wall off is going to be up in time, however. And that's a really bold Dropper Lord, but I think he's doing it to hide the one here in the main.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, but these Adepts are going to do. I think damage is going to be so delayed due to the Adepts just slapping around these queens. I actually don't think it was targeting drones there.
No, not for the whole time. So he does take down 2 and killed a number of workers, I believe. Or, I'm sorry, a number of army units. Yeah, 7 units killed total for Romson. But yeah, lings are dropping in. I think he knew this was coming. He has 2 depths ready. Wolof is
Yep.
up with the Zealot, but there could be damage done here. Yeah, it looks like this will be some kind of heavy pressure.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't go ahead and flank the buildings. He could have easily targeted down the pylon there with the Zerglings, but instead went for the workers. And he does get a lot of workers for his troubles, but the pylon is still powered and the gateways are still up. So I do think that it might have been a mistake to go for the workers instead of the buildings there. But he does pick up. I think he will drop over the wall.
I think he could still get this gate, especially if he drops some over, but of course, 2 Adepts there, I think they'll kill just everything that drops out. Not sure what the workers for, because he's going to go do a proxy hatch at 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's a morale worker. We've been over this.
The combat
the
drone.
Union. Yeah, the drone union is telling us that we need workers there to give a +10 attack boost to all the work units that are around it.
Now, this drone, though, not giving that attack boost, is kind of taking a smoke break, as we see workers, they like to do on backwater, smoking in all the Vespene gas. No, actually, he's going to go send him back home. Smoke breaks over.
Forstalling actually realized that the worker wasn't doing what he said he was doing. Worker was like, yo, dude, I'm going to do something really cool. Just watch me. And then Forstalling was like, okay, sure, dude. Looks over and he realizes that the worker was actually just smoking up all the Vespene gas without telling him.
Yeah, exactly. One drone, or one Ling does just kind of die. It's going to see the timing of the 3rd, though. Actually, his own 3rd was very late. Normally, a 3rd would be done by 5 minutes for the Zerg. Still really no tech. +1 on the way. Same as Resonating Glaives.
Yep, and we do see the Stalker actually pushing off the Dropper Lord. So Romson going for a really cool mix-up there. He recognized the fact that he was very susceptible to a Ling Flood with the build he enjoys going for. So he goes for a very, what feels like anti-Ling Flood build.
Now, that Ling should have seen what was going on. Of course, Lings are here. They do take down what looked like a worker. Gonna get another one. But yeah, a few Adepts warped in. We'll be able to shut that down. He's going to be dropping once again in the main, but he has nothing ready for, I believe, 8? Oh, no, a lot more than 8, actually.
I think it's 10 workers, yeah. There's a lot of Lings coming out, but I don't think 20 Lings beats 10 Glade Ups. Actually, not even Glade Ups, there's regular Depths.
They are, and Warpins coming in are going to be able to clean up this little bit of stuff that's there in the natural of Romson. Already 7 drones have fallen, but workers, the Adepts are starting to get picked off.
Yeah, a lot of half-health drones there. Actually, no Queen's being targeted. He's just... I really do feel like that Romson never target fires the drones. He does still do a lot of damage, but the Queens just always seem to be tanking for the drones there.
They do. I think he's gonna finish up the Shade. And unfortunately, these were all pretty weak Adepts, so they get focused down very quickly.
Yeah, so 12 drones get taken down. So forestalling... I mean, Romson isn't a commanding worker lead, and these Dropper Lords, while cute, they ended up not doing the damage that he wanted to. This Overlord actually lives.
And Wolof is still up here, so these Lings aren't going to be able to find really any purchase. As meanwhile, we see 1 Robo on the way and 3 more gates. Of course, Gladept is finished, Forge is on the way, so Romson going into the more macro stage, probably just going to see IAC out of him. And still really don't see anything different, actually, out of Forestalling. Forestalling sitting on 41 workers, the lair is on its way, but also a ton of Lings. Still no Bane Nest, still no Roach Warren.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering if Romson's going to try and make use of his Glade. Like, he actually didn't make it Resonating Glaives there. He only just now finished it, so I'm kind of wondering if he's going to go for a very heavy Adept push again. Especially since there are no Bane... Is there a Baneling Nest for Romson? I mean, for Forestalling Bill?
Oh, there is a Baneling Nest, actually, yes.
Oh.
I did miss that, but there is +1, so I mean, they're good. They are strong against the Adepts, but he's going to need good connects, because the Lings will pretty much just melt right away.
Yeah,
against
still
11 Adepts.
Being morphed. I don't think these Lings, like, they are +1 Lings, like you said, but these are Glade Ups going against them. I feel like that's just going to be a lot of free Lings donated over to Romson.
It was tons of damage there. I mean, looking at the army size graph, big drop for Forestalling. As of course, as more and more units are being warped in for Romson. Here we go. He's moving into the bases, going to shade into the 3rd, but there's the Banelings.
Yeah. Ooh, 1 Baneling already being picked off. That might be a big deal. And these dev splits are coming off, but I think that might harm them against the Zerglings themselves. But oh man, a lot of the Banelings go off, but there's still a good amount of Adepts alive. They are cleaned up very easily, but that was still a trade that heavily favored Romson.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely think. Actually, I think that was good for forestalling just from not losing workers. But I don't think forestalling's in a position where he can just take a good trade. He needs a great trade. Warp Prism's on its way. High Templars are being made, and +1's about to finish up for Romson. Of course, +2, Centrifugal Hooks and the Overlord speed upgrades are all on their way for forestalling.
Yeah, but we're seeing more link pressure at the front of Romson's base, but now there are Archons, and if you thought Gladeps killed Lings very well, Archons, oh man.
And of
They're
course,
on a whole different level.
Archons, they kind of take Baneling hits a little bit better. We do see finally charts being added on, so yeah, definitely going to be Archon Immortal. Kind of surprised he's still on one Robo. He hasn't added on a second to try to pump out Immortals or Colossi or any of that tech. But his fourth base is up, and it's actually mostly saturated already. Just pulling workers mostly from the main, I believe.
Yep. And his fourth base, I mean, just the extreme worker lead that Romson has over forestalling. This feels like the roles have been swapped in this matchup.
They have, and of course, actually still only 2 gases taken for forestalling, so that means that really there's no options for tech. Until there's more gases, Hydras, Roaches aren't really an option. Those Banelings are going to need about perfect hits. Oh, but force fields are good.
Yeah, about perfect force fields just completely shield the Zealots off from suiciding their deaths into those Banelings. And with all the Banelings gone, the Zealots are just going to shred through all the Lings and Archons push through.
Romson takes game 1. A little bit different than the other games we've seen from him, but still a very decisive victory, I would say.
Yep.
So we will be going into game 2 now of this series. Don't know what the players' vetoes are, unfortunately.
Seems to be a common trend in this tournament. We just go into the games and we just assume that the players know what they're doing.
Yeah, they seem to have a good idea, good grasp on how to play the game. Being, of course, high masters or GM players, they tend to have a good grasp on the game, I would hope.
Just a little bit.
So I'm personally expecting we're going to see Catalyst next.
Somehow I'm not surprised about that.
Oh no, Eastwatch. Okay.
Oh, Eastwatch. Okay, that's surprising.
I was thinking Eastwatch or Acid Plant for map number 3, so maybe we'll see Catalyst for 3. I'll still have my map predictions right.
Yeah. You know, maybe we'll get game 3 and it's actually a Biogenesis. Ooh, that'd be exciting.
It would be different. But yeah, definitely possible. I don't know either player would really want to pick a bio. Romson seems to like aggression, but of course that tends to be a little bit of a Zerg favored map.
Yeah.
But I don't know really. Early aggression, like forestalling, tried it. Didn't work out too well, so I can't see him trying it again.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to just go for something unexpected and just go for, the same build and see if it works out.
Yeah, Eastwatch actually probably a better map for it with all the different chokes and vision blockers that Warp Prism can sneak in. We'll see if Romson can pull it off in the top right corner. It's purple player Romson. Probably shouldn't have said his name right away, but kind of an awkward intro. The bottom left corner is the light pink Zerg player. It is forestalling. Gonna try to take this second game, go on to play in those finals potentially. Very fast worker being moved out. Maybe we're going to see something like we saw last night in the GSL with a proxy hatch. That was, what was that? Dark versus Zest,
Dark
right?
versus Zest.
Yeah,
yep.
that was an entertaining game.
Dark versus Zest was just a very entertaining series. But oh man, I'm so excited for this worker. Every time I see it.
Yeah, that's a proxy hatch.
That is gonna be one fun. This is gonna be very entertaining. Like we were saying, like we wouldn't know if forestalling was gonna go for maybe a similar build, or another aggressive build because he already lost with one. But he isn't scared. Forestalling wants it.
I don't think if Romson doesn't scout, I think it'll work well. Maybe we'll see the gateway scout, but no, it looks like he's not going to send a scout across the map, so he has no idea this is going to be coming.
Yeah, I actually don't know if Romson has ever sent out a probe scout initially. I think he has always consistently only scouted with the adept first.
Yeah, and unfortunately the adept's going to be a little bit late to see what's coming. Yeah,
Yeah, so if
just
he builds a pylon on the left side of his base, he will see the creep, I believe, once the hatchery pops. But if he doesn't have any vision there, he won't see the hatchery there.
no. He needs to move a unit like I want to say like 4 of these tiles towards
Yeah,
the edge in order to see the creep spread. I guess it depends on what the unit's vision is, of course. But for gateway units, I think they could all see it if they get about that close, because the creeps should cover
right,
up that geyser.
right. So I mean, Robson is once again going for this early zealot. I really feel he really enjoys that first zealot. I rarely see Protosses go for it, but very interesting. I think to like consistently push for that zealot. I know that back in like Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, tosses would cancel a zealot if they didn't see any links come out, but Romson's fine with letting it complete.
I Yeah, I really like this build actually out of forestalling. Pulled off the gas mostly, so it's gonna be dropper lords, and then he's gonna have some gold income with it.
And he's got queens coming out with the dropper lords. Oh,
Oh man, so there'll be a
so
queen in the
exciting!
first dropper lord. This is gonna be a great game to watch. Somehow two links do sneak by as the wall off wasn't done. Gonna pick off one worker, and because it's a zealot, really, I mean they could just run around and be irritating. Maybe a
Yeah,
few
let's
more
say
workers get focused down here.
another one being poked down. That's actually a really big deal this early in the game too.
Yeah, 2 workers lost already, and he has no idea this is coming. One
Yeah, I
queen's
think the
already
zealot.
ready to get lifted up, and that's gonna add a lot of staying power here.
Yeah, the stalker runs up. He's like, wait. Why
Wait, the
is there a
queens aren't
queen
supposed to
here?
be in my base.
Yeah, and I think he's now gonna be in full panic mode as more and more dropper lords ferry in more and more lings, and as every oh my god, this queen is just so slow.
But
Oh man.
another queen is made. It's not being moved out yet. He needs to keep both those queens alive though, but it looks like it's gonna get focused down by the workers. Not sure which worker managed to get that pick. Wait, I think one of these workers has 4 kills. Maybe that was the zealot I clicked on.
That'd be very fun if the one worker had that many kills. And these dropper lords aren't dropping very efficiently. They are like loading up and just kind of like
The-
running all the way over.
It's awkward, and not all the lings are fighting at once, which they really need to be right now. There we go. I
Yeah.
think now he's starting to get the numbers he needs. If he can take down that adept also.
Yeah, the most these queens have done is just stall for these lings to come in. And I do think that this might be it. This queen is about to be in firing range of the workers, and it's going to add a lot of DPS to these lings.
It will. All the units but the stalker goes down. Shield battery is up though, so if the stalker, well, stalker gets forced to outer range though. Oh, I'm
Ooh,
sorry.
No, it's
No.
right there. This queen is just slapping the nexus. It's not doing very much. This queen just feels like, you know, like another moral queen. It's just there for the sake of being there.
Yeah, it just adds a little bit of morale. But yeah, shield battery runs out of energy, and now it's down to 16 workers, all consolidated in the nexus.
Yep, and the queen's just slowly waddling down, trying to join the lings. And this shield battery will make this that very, very tanky, but I don't think it's gonna be enough for Stalin or for Romson to pull out.
No.
In.
Most of the energy's out at this point on the shield battery, and of course, because workers were attack moved, about another 7 of them, I believe, were focused down. And here we see another 16 lings getting elevated in.
Yeah.
You know, actually, yeah, that is a hard wall with 2 pylons.
Yeah, so I think Romson is just very excited for this next patch to go through.
Yeah, Romson probably a little bit frustrated from this game, but big links around coming in, and shield battery, of course, being out of energy. All these units going to die pretty quickly.
Yeah, this queen finally getting its worth out. Just although the tickles it does, it just adds up when everything else is running around from its surround.
It does, yeah. And forestalling will take that game. Going to bring us to game 3 of the series then.
Yeah.
That was a super clever build, though. Maybe I'll have to copy that before I lose my precious dropper lords.
No, you're supposed to go fast layer instead of Evo Chamber. It'll be
You're right.
great.
You're right. Instead of doing ling speed, right? I'll just do slow lings, but start up the lair, and we'll see how it works. They'll never expect the lair at 2:30. It's so early.
Yeah. They'll just never know. And like all those queens, you don't need those queens anymore. You'll have the dropper lord.
Exactly. Although really, I feel like that build might actually be able to work, right? Like rush out lair, unless they scout it, right? They're not going to expect it, and then you just have like 4 dropper lords at the ready. If they don't go Stargate, they won't have really a way to deal with that.
That's true.
It would be entertaining.
Stargate. So good. Yeah, it'd be. I feel like it'd be like maybe like a very not optimal build, but it'd be so much fun. You'd just be laughing in the background as everything flies around.
Okay, so now Acid Plant's gonna be the last map, not Catalyst.
Oh wow, Catalyst didn't make it through the cut. I'm very surprised.
Always kind of odd not to see Catalyst. Catalyst and Blackpink are like the two most common maps. I say that as neither of them are going to be played in the best of 5 for the finals.
Yeah. That is true. Man, I really want a Biogenesis. Is a Biogenesis we play all 5 games?
There's a good chance it gets played. I hope it does.
Yeah, I really need to see what I just really need to see what Uko does on that. It'd be so exciting.
I feel like any game on a Biogenesis, it's kind of like painful, especially to play, but a little bit painful to watch, but it's also just too entertaining to ignore. It's never a standard macro game.
I also do feel like that with like when we do clan wars, our clanmates, like the fights are like just barely low level enough to where the the builds are like, what are you doing on this map? But it just works out gloriously. So you never optimized, but it's just so fun to watch.
It's always the best to watch. So in the top left corner, going to try to win another game, try to win this series, of course, since it is a 1-1 so far. It is the purple Protoss player, Romson. And then in the bottom right corner, it's the light pink Zerg trying to go on to that lower bracket finals. It is forestalling. And actually, no, he's, oh my god.
Oh, no way, dude. No way. Forestalling has just been my favorite player in this tournament.
Because it was forestalling that did this earlier, right? In the ZVZ?
Yeah, I think so. I have to check. Yeah.
So forestalling gonna get a lot of mineral income pretty quickly. As Romson does the standard build so far. But of course, I don't know how Romson's gonna scout this. I mean, if he sends the Adepts across, yeah, they might scout the lack of the natural, but if he does a fast 3 base, he can hide that.
Yeah, oh my god, that would be so cool if he just like, he'll be like, oh, and like they go pool first into, like, you know, hatchery, but no, he actually just went hatchery.
He went hatchery first.
Into
Yeah, he went hatchery into hatchery into hatchery into hatchery. Then he did the pool. It's the macro
like,
cheese of.
Pool's a good idea.
Yeah, the macro cheese of 5 hatch before pool.
Yeah, you see Romson just spamming that move command on that probe to get that perfect
Get
position.
It perfect. One thing I actually like about this a lot, this is a super hard base to take. Because it's just in the middle. Once these rocks get broken down, there's really no good way to protect it. I mean, even with the rocks, it's hard to defend. So mining it out early, maybe he just wants to go for the long game, right? The long con. Mine it out first. That way he can kind of defend the safer base. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see Dropper Lords. But I like to think he's going for like the crazy macro game.
You're just hoping he's going for the absolutely insane mix-up words like proxy hatch, but I'm not cheesing you.
Could you imagine watching that game though? Like he takes like this base up here, right? Mines it out before Ronson ever goes to mine it because he goes to like take it as his 4th or some shit, and then Ronson's like, well, fuck, now I need to expand out even farther. Oh, that would be.
That could be a Terran pool. You're like our Terran builder. You go like 4 fast OCs and just continue to mule
the other bases. Yeah. So depths are gonna move out, and actually, I was gonna let some links get in through the front. They'll find damage. Meanwhile, Evo's finishing up, so there's going to be double drop alert right here. Only 2 workers on this gold, so not too much of an advantage coming from that. Actually, wait, did one of the Adepts die?
No, one of them went backwards.
No, one of the Adepts did die.
Oh, wait. You're right. Oh my god, it's already turned out to be a great game.
It's actually a pretty big deal, but of course, no workers did go down. It took 5 links to kill the Adept, so looks like he's actually expecting this. I don't know if he can see. Yeah, he can see the Dropper Lords.
Yeah, Romson adapting very quickly into this build. He's gonna Force Long's gonna like focus on a building, think about it again, decide not to. It's gonna be very hard to take on a building when there's so many adepts just waiting on the other side. If he could take down the gateway, that would be really good. But that's a lot of damage that requires a
I,
Romson to not respond to. Oh my god,
but
he
it
actually
looks
might
like
do
he
it.
will get it though, right? I mean, like
The shield battery is running out of shields very quickly.
it is, and that means there's no
Oh my, it's
shields
out
for
of
everything
shield.
else.
Yeah, it's out of energy. So he is gonna defend that off, but that's a very low gateway. So
Yeah, and I mean
if
he could keep jumping back and forth between the dropper lords, right? Try to move these steps out of position, but he's just gonna drone up a lot. No third taken yet though.
yeah, and this queen is just kind of waddling across the map.
The real long con, right? You're gonna just slow walk
Yeah,
links from your main into their own main.
yeah. The queen's gonna show up at natural, and Robson's gonna be like, "Wait, how did this queen get here?"
You know, the nice thing with this though, right? Because he never opened Stargate, Rumson has to leave something here to defend. Just because of the presence of the dropper lords. If he moves these adepts too far away, there'll be 16 lings in his main.
Yeah, and it's just I just find it so interesting that Romson like he saw all this happening.
Fucking
Oh
forestalling. Even if he doesn't win,
no.
he's just making this game wonderful. He might actually be able to get that gate just poking in, but that's quite a few adepts. There is not glaives, but there's charge on the way.
Yeah, forestalling just going for is just such a cool play. Like, I don't think anyone would ever expect this. They'd be like, "There's no way, dude. Like, there's no way that he's gonna be taking the other gold base."
And he has to wonder,
you
like,
see
how
it.
is there already creep this far? Now he sees the base there, of course.
Yeah, and these queens, these queens do so much. He's gonna walk past. He's probably go, forestalling's main base. He's gonna see no natural there. He's gonna be
He's
like,
gonna be
"All right,
so
this is a two-base."
confused.
He's gonna be like, "This is a two base. That's all I need to do. Defend this two base, and I'll be so far ahead." But little does he know. Little does he know.
So he's gonna try to recall it. Gonna lose at least one. I think actually
Oh,
two of them
that's two.
went down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was two in the end.
Yeah. Plus one melee finishing up and layers on the way. Once he just gets that gold base, I mean, ah, God, he's gonna be in such a great position for like a Ling Bane Flood. I like the DT Shrine. That's really clever from
Yeah,
Romson.
DC Shrine might be enough to like hold off this flood. Like if there's one, two DTs, that's a lot of army being shredded with every slap.
It is, especially Lings. Lings get one-shotted as far as I remember by DTs.
Yeah.
And the Queen. But there's no Banes here, so these charge lots are actually going to do just super fucking well versus this army.
Yeah, the Lings will be like the fodder for the Queens, but I don't think, like I think there actually isn't +1 for the Zealots, so it will take a while for the Zealots to clean up, but they do. And I think this is it for forestalling. I don't think there's anything else. Oh,
But
he actually got through!
The Dropper Lords got through. Still no workers killed, though. They just kind of ran... yeah, all the workers did manage to be safe, except for one, but...
Yeah,
I told you,
think the shield battery
leaving
did
them
so
there.
much.
So he gets the full scout.
Yeah.
He does see the DT Shrine. And yeah, Spore's there. It's going to be a Spore probably that gold, I would imagine.
Yeah, that third base will probably be what determines the game. Romson still doesn't know that exists, so as long as that stays up, Forestal's gonna get so much extra income.
He will. Now these DTs actually will spot these creep tumors. Or they should.
Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah, so he should know
Yeah.
there's that base there now. Kind of interesting, he went to take his own third when he thought the Zerg was on 2 base. That seems really greedy to me personally.
Yeah, these banelings will. There's a lot of attempted splitting, but I think the banelings will still get decent connections.
Yeah, if nothing else, they force splitting, which is always good for Lings. Lings can benefit from that. DT
Yeah,
will
these
kind of
DTs.
just gonna come up. Of course, he's the Darth Maul DT, so he's very powerful. He's the best, and he will kill that queen.
Yeah, that's the reason why the queen died. That's the sole reason why the queen died.
That is. Both Archons should go down, and actually, because the wall off's down. Oh no, he doesn't.
Actually. Oh.
And then the shield battery saves it.
Yeah. Oh man, these all these shield batteries are so efficient at defending these units. The Archon actually will go down in the end. There's still no Overseer here to spot for these DTs. How many kills does DT have?
Already up to 10.
10?
I don't really think it matters though too much. Now granted I say that as there's like 5 here. There's just so many Lings and DTs don't really kill mass Lings that fast.
Yeah, it all you do one-shot Lings per swing. Their swing isn't very quick, so it does take them a while to clean up everything. And this third base will go down while forestalling will be on 4 bases.
So forestalling is double gas income. He's on 4 base and he's just flooding Lings. This feels like smurfing, to be totally honest. Has he even? He has made banelings. That's right. I was gonna say, has he made any? I don't think he can get through there, but he still has these. If only he had Overlord speed. Oh man.
Yeah, roller speed would be so cool in terms of just like bringing everything, like all the queens over as well.
Of
Oh
course, he
man.
lost the Robo as well, so Romson's in kind of a tough spot right now. But he's getting more gates up. He does have charge done, but there's not even a forge. Yeah, so there's no chance for upgrades anytime soon.
Yeah, so I think those two Archons being picked off in the beginning were so important. If you had those two Archons now or even earlier, a lot of these Lings would not be alive. But since they are, oh man,
They
everything's
are,
just cleaned up.
and because they're out of range of the shield battery, yeah, he just easily picks them off. I imagine these probes won't last very long, and actually if he gets that pylon, he stops a few of those warp ins.
Yeah, these Zealots will like survive, but again, without +1 attack, these Zealots won't be doing enough.
You know, actually, looking at the use or the losses, Forestalling's been about 3,000 resources more efficient this game, off of basically
Oh
pure
wow.
Ling. I don't really understand how that works, but apparently I need to take a few notes from him on how to play
Yeah.
Zerg.
Yeah, that's actually I'm actually really surprised about that. I thought for sure that Romson would be or Porcelain would be like 5k minerals less efficient.
You would think. Somehow I guess Lings are just that efficient. He doesn't have +2 on the way yet, but Baneling speed is finishing up. Actually, DT,
Yeah.
if he focus fires, could possibly get this base. Overseer is a little bit of a ways away. But instead he's going to try to chase
Yeah.
down Lings. Already up to 4 kills.
Yeah, this overseer will spot it, and he's still gonna walk over and like, oh man, I still can't believe that Force only has 4 bases.
He does, and he has creep almost into the third bases of Romson. He needs to be really very careful in defending. There was, oh my god, he's already mined this one base out. I didn't realize that he mines out the gold that fast, but
Yeah, and actually this is actually just pure Ling, and for all intents and purposes, you would think that the Lings wouldn't stand a chance, and I guess you would be right. The Lings all get cleaned up, and now all of a sudden Romson's in a very commanding position with the army, and I think he might actually take this game.
he possibly could. Now, of course, at this point, I think Forstalling can move back to another base since he's mined out that one. This base is going to mine out pretty fast as well. I think he needs something else. Roaches would be phenomenal right now, but of course, there's not a Roach Warren, so we will not
Yeah,
be
I feel
seeing
like
that.
yeah, I feel like at some point if Forstalling just started making roaches instead of just only Lings for the past 11 minutes, I think he might have been able to win, but I think the oh actually these
Yeah.
Banelings getting very, very good connections here.
Banelings do, and that forces one Archon to be alone. If that Queen could focus down that Ward Prism, but I don't think it'll be able to, that would give him a good chance to hold. Unfortunately, 4 Archons probably going to do pretty well versus the Ling, so I think we're going to go for the base trade. Actually,
Yeah.
he wins the base trade, doesn't he? He still has these drop alerts here, so he can get up into the main.
Well, I mean, he can warp in DTs, I think, as at home. And if there's no overseer there to detect DTs, then I think Romson just wins the base trade.
I think you're right, and there is still recall, of course. Man, I would love to see like 10 Lings loaded up into those drop alerts to jump behind, but he's going to knock down the wall off.
Yeah, and we'll see how fast he can race, because he does have buildings everywhere on the map, so it is completely possible that he can still win, because he has been only on Link Bane Tech the entire game, so losing his quote-unquote tech structures, if he has any, doesn't even matter too much to him.
Yeah, I don't think he minds too much. And actually, he unloads, are those all, this fucking play, he unloads most of his workers, so they'll be able to go start a new base somewhere.
Yeah.
The recall for the Archons cleans this up, but the charge lots are still here, so they should be able to get that lair. Yeah, and there we go, we see the hidden expansion going down. Unfortunately though, for forestalling, he has very little mining right now. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
he's already mined out all of the gold bases, so
he has, but this
oh,
wall
man.
off's totally broken. I mean, the drop alerts are still here. I think he could just clear out the eco of Romson pretty easily. Obviously, he still needs to deal with the Archons and the charge lots.
Yeah, looks like he's just trying to warp in like what, one zealot to kill off the layer. Oh, what's zealot in a DT? That's gonna be a lot of DPS. Probably
That
enough
will.
to end it.
Going to take his own third again, and I guess Forestalling's not going to have vision of that for a while. Overseers are here.
Yeah.
I don't think he saves the lair though, yeah.
And they get away with their lives.
Still don't actually see a lair being made anywhere. There is a spawning pool though. So he is going to be
Yep,
able to
and
keep
the
making lings, as always.
yeah, the drop rollers are actually there are 4 drop rollers on the map, so 2 of them are just pooping creep. That's their purpose now. They
They
once
are.
held drones in their hearts, and now they hold creep.
It's going to deny
Oh
those
man.
200 minerals of mining. Actually,
Yep.
is that distance mining from that base? Kind of
No, from the
interesting.
natural, I think.
I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, the natural base, because they're still just set there. He does manage to, I don't know if it was a cancel or a kill, but he shuts down the third. I mean, 15 minutes into the game, the main is literally mining out right now, and then the natural's half mined out. So I guess really forestalling doesn't even need to kill workers. If he can just keep denying the third, he'll eventually win by mining
Yeah.
out the base, or the bases.
Yeah, if Force trades enough links to just never allow Ronson to get a third and somehow trades out links for all these Archons, I think he will somehow win. He does finally scout this other base.
He does. Baneling Nest is still up, but it's going to need to be replaced. It is going to bleed out if he doesn't get an Overlord over there.
Yeah, the Overlord
Actually,
needs to just give some life. Oh,
there still isn't actually a Forge, so it's still fully unupgraded army against, I believe they're just, oh no, they're just +1. But this base is going to be shut down. Workers
yep.
evac to one of the other expansions, but he's actually on 3 hatch, so now 2 hatch, so he has very little production himself. Forestalling, gonna once again go and try to do damage, will be unable to shut down that third.
Yeah, Archon's there and
Oh, and that's gonna
GG
be
now.
GG. I was really hoping we'd get like another 5 minutes in this game, but
Yeah, it was not meant
Romson
to be.
Romson survives one of the oddest games I've got in the cast so far, if not the oddest game I've casted.
Yeah, that game was just so cool in so many different ways. Oh man.
That was a very fun game to watch. So Romson will be going up against Uko in the finals.
Yep.
And forestalling, if you're here by the time you're hearing this, because of the 2-minute delay, of course. If you're here, that was a fucking awesome game.
Yeah, forestalling,
I...
you're definitely the best player here so far. I don't care if you didn't win the tournament, you won a tournament in my heart.
Yeah, you might not be winning the tournament, although I think he got third for his position, but he won the prize of the best game. So that's really
Yeah.
what matters, in my opinion.
Yeah, he got the moral victory, the ethical victory, and a decent prize victory. That's what we'll say.
He didn't get the science victory, even though he did make a lair. And he's not going to get the, what is it, the domination victory, I think is what it's called, for killing all the
Yeah, yeah.
opponents. But he gets the
But you get
cultural
the
victory.
yeah, you get the cultural and diplomacy victory.
How
That's what we'll go with.
does the diplomacy victory work in StarCraft? I guess that would work in a free-for-all if you, like, get half the teams, or half the players to team up with you.
No, no, you get the other player to just mentally surrender.
I
He's
feel
like,
like
I didn't deserve to win this game.
I feel like you can get diplomacy victory if you just like neuroparasite a probe or an SCV and then beat the enemy with their own army.
Oh no, no, I know. You diplomacy victory by being Terran versus Terran and landing your building on their add-on. That's a diplomacy victory. I can see it now.
That is, yeah. Oh man, that would be just such a heartbreaking loss too. I feel like just
Yeah,
like
can you imagine
Hmm?
like the most intense tournament of the entire history of StarCraft 2, TBT. It's like a hour-long fight, and then all of a sudden you see this one barracks float over to this one reactor on like the other side of the map.
Yeah, you just
That's
see
like
the
this
second player type out like, no, please don't end it like this any other way.
Yeah.
Land the barracks, make a marine, and kill my add-on, but don't land on it.
Yeah. It's like this 200 fight in the middle of the map, and like you see this barracks floating over, and like they're having like this insane micro, and all
And
of
then
a
just
sudden,
victory.
yeah, he's like, wait, what?
Wait, how did I lose? I still have all this army.
Yeah, the casters are like, wait, how did that game end? And then you look over and you realize that like the command center on the other side burned down somehow, and
Oh,
that was
man.
the only thing left.
That
I
would be
want to see it
just,
now.
that would be such a great game to watch. That'd be the game to be there live for, too. Because that'd be
Yeah,
so funny.
yeah, it'd be so great in so many different ways. Oh man.
Alright, so just waiting on the players to do their 2 vetoes right now, I suppose. We're not really in their lobby at all. I don't know if you are, at least I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm the person that you don't want in the lobby. I'm the caster that never accepts. And you're trying to get into your game, and then right before you hit start, I'm like, oh hey, I'm here.
Hey, hold up! I need to be watching this game.
Yeah, and they're like, we've been waiting 5 minutes for you, and then I don't respond for another 3 minutes.
Oh, go! By the way.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we're on Acid Plant again. Uko, of course, was watching that game, so maybe he's gonna try to do it better.
Yeah, Ugo has already refined the build in his head. He already knows what steps, what steps forestalling did wrong. So now he already knows. He's already planned 5 steps ahead.
We all know the mistakes, right? He only made 2 drop alerts.
No, he made 4.
You're right, but he made the other 2 way too late, right? I mean, you just got to make a shit ton of drop alerts in the first few minutes, and that's how you win. Yeah, according to Reddit,
drones.
At least.
No, he didn't drop drones into Ramson's main base. That was why he lost. He needed at least 8 drones in Ramson's main base.
He did. He should have been mining out the main of Ramson.
Yeah, I know. Like, why don't you just proxy hatch into the main and mine from there? It actually doesn't make sense, you know?
You know, I feel like if I could see that game happen, I would just lose my mind. But yes, I would love to see a hatchery or a CC or a Nexus built in the opponent's main, and then you just like try to win by mining them out.
Yeah, that would be like a trade victory, right?
Yeah. Did you get to see Pig's most recent IC4?
Oh no, I didn't watch it.
You need to watch it. There was a game. It was a Terran versus Zerg, and it was just painful to be totally honest. It was a proxy hatch versus like proxy 3 racks, I think it was.
Oh god.
Ended up with the Zerg being in the main of the Terran mining from their natural. Literally, there's creep right next to the SCVs who are mining. And the game went for like 25 minutes. They both played really passively.
How did that even happen?
Yeah, I don't know. It was painful to watch, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, it sounds like a game that you would never want to be playing yourself, but you'd love to watch.
Exactly. Which are always the best games, right? Because then you just watch the replay of it after you've played it, and then you can laugh at it.
Yeah, you like times 4 through it, so you don't have to like be super in pain for the entire time.
Yeah, only be in a little bit of pain.
Yeah. Oh man. So we're just waiting. I think
it's Romson.
For break. Yeah.
Don't blame him. Probably a pretty stressful game, that last one.
Yeah, he was on 2 bases for basically the entire game. He was just slowly building up an Archon count that was good enough to just instantly delete all the wings.
And could you imagine, like you're just there and you're like, oh, he took the gold. Oh, that's kind of cheesy. And then you go to move DTs and you're like, wait, why is there creep at this other gold? And then you check, it's like, oh fuck, he took both the golds.
Yeah, you're like, did he creep spread that well from his main to here? And then you're like, no, there's no way. And then he looks and he's like, oh my god. He took both gold bases.
Legendary play.
Shit. Yeah, that's the best thing you could see, honestly. It'd be so great.
Yeah, I'll have to try that in my next game on Acid Plant. Hopefully Uko or Ramson pulls out something even better in this game. Maybe Ramson will go for the gold-based Nexus. Recall probes there and just get the mining lead. We'll see if he'll do it. Game 1 in the finals of this tournament. It is the purple Protoss player in the bottom right corner. It is Ramson. And then in the top left corner, he's been on the upper bracket. He hasn't lost a series yet. Let's see if he can win this one as well. It is the red Zerg player, Uko.
So I actually don't think Ugo has dropped a game in general.
That's definitely impressive. So we'll see if Ramson can get the block there. That was just the pylon, and then he sent it out. So I think that will get the block if Uko goes for a... Yeah, he's going for a 17 hatchery, so I think that will get blocked.
Yeah. So I checked the back right, and Uko has dropped 1 game, and that was to... Oh my god, I already forgot his name. It's been like 2 minutes. I even called him my favorite player. How could I have done this? Forestalling, right? Oh my god, that was embarrassing. I called my favorite player and he can't remember his name. Oh
man, that's just dirty to him. You just need to apologize to Forestalling. So
Forestalling, I offer my my greatest and deepest apologies.
I was hoping it'd be the gold, but yeah, he's just gonna go try to take his expansion somewhere. I love the fact that Ramson still gets the block, and actually not gonna matter too much, of course.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Romson's doing just standard play so far. His Nexus going down. You can see the Cybercore next.
Yep. Romson does really enjoy like just screwing with Zerg as much as possible.
You know, it's a smart thing to do. You get to fuck up their build a bit, and in the early game, that's the only time Zerg really has a build. First like 3-4 minutes, so might as well do the damage while you can.
Yeah, maybe there'll be some psychological damage. The probe is gonna. Okay, maybe one link will try to make the probe atone for its sins.
It's gonna try.
Something.
Just like a
Yeah.
dog chasing after the mailman, like, yo, I'm gonna get you. You're a little bit slower than me. I'll eventually get you. All of his buddies are off, like chasing some cat or something.
Yeah, like the owner still hasn't told the dog to get the fuck back home. The dog like will like go to the other side of the city and then turn around and be like, wait, where am I?
Dude,
I'm just taking down.
where's my car? I wish he would have kept running them in. He could have gotten all 3 of those lings into the base. Only gets 1, but still probably going to find some damage.
Yeah, if gonna get a very, very good scout. I'd be surprised if it kills anything. I'm pretty sure, probe's being pulled. The mailman's ganging up on a dog,
Yeah.
Dog always loses.
Here we see
wait,
the
what?
K9 response unit, so... Still no
Even
wall.
The pound just like taking up, just like, you, dog? No.
That's exactly what the adepts are, especially with glaives. That would be like the pound on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be amazing. But
Still-
we do see a Stargate actually for once from Romson.
We do. Stargate, in my opinion, is the strongest opener. Of course, Walling is also a pretty good opener. So but there we go. Yeah, we do see the second gateway going down.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
So Uko might not be expecting this Stargate play.
I believe he saw the Stargate. Oh no, you know what? He didn't see the Stargate.
Yeah, a Void Ray being produced, not even an Oracle. So I'm actually kind of surprised. I feel like it is an Oracle.
It
Yeah,
was
he
just a
canceled the Void
misclick.
Ray.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, Oracle could definitely get some good damage done, as we don't see any spores yet. Spores could be added on a little bit later, still and be safe. So that is
Yes.
a little bit of a fast hatch, or fast lair. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So actually, I really do feel like, not sure if this is true, but I feel like Romson, he was just expecting to get to the finals, and he's just planning to mind game as hard as he could up to this point. He was like, I'm gonna not build Stargate until the finals, and I'm just gonna pull it out, and we get like 20 worker kills.
So I'm not really sure how, but somehow Uko was actually supply blocked for a while there. No overlords have died yet, though. I'm really confused on it. I guess he did like a Evo chamber.
Cancel.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess he like made it Evo chamber and cancel it or something.
Maybe 2 workers do go down at the natural, and actually.
Yeah, no, actually,
Cancels the spore, which I think is a mistake. I think he wants to keep them since the Oracle is still alive, but it is almost dead.
yeah, I actually think a lot less damage than I expected. Uko recognizing that he might have been a little bit vulnerable to Oracle, so he made an extra 2 queens per base, and he actually is. He's going for a Nidus.
Okay, so that's a pretty fast Nidus. There still isn't any other tech though. This is going to be like Ling Queen, so that's why he's making the extra queens.
I was wondering why he made the extra queens in the first place. I was like, I saw it like, why did he have 2 queens at the third? And then I realized he was making more overlords or more queens again, and I was like, no way, it's a Nidus. And then right when I made it a connection, he dropped the Nidus. Oh man, this is great.
So it looks like the Nidus is really just going to be for the queens, because we see all these Lings here. They're all running across. He's just going to put the Nidus down there. Actually,
I think he said put the Nidus inside the wall, maybe.
potentially. Now, of course, he is draining that Oracle energy, and he will kill some of the units before the Queens show up. Queens are loaded in, but I think maybe he's getting Burrow. I'm not 100% sure what his plan is, but it should be entertaining. Oracle is out of energy. No, actually, it can just barely turn its laser on.
Yeah, so the Nidus is going to go inside the wall. I'm surprised he didn't do that earlier. I was really expecting him like do it immediately right when it finished building, when he saw a lot of Lings. But I don't know if Romson sees it.
He might not. Now he should. I mean, it might actually be kind of blending in with his own buildings. So there we go. Queens are popping out, and that pylon did get saved.
Very big surprise for Romson, probably. You put it here, and we're gonna see transfuses on the queens as they try and whittle down the pellets.
So lots of charge lots and lots of workers pulled. Lings will eventually be able to get through the wall off I like the High Templar for the feedbacks, but there's not too many transfuses left anyways. I think he needs to try to get the remaining queens out of there, but...
Yeah, I mean, just feedbacking all the queens to make sure there are no more transfuses to go away. But I feel like Uko has done it. I think
he's gonna win this. One of the Archons goes down, the other one will fall. Most of the Lings will be dead at that point, but we do see a lot more being made.
Actually. Yeah, another Archon goes down. I don't think there's any more fighting units for Romson, so I think all these probes, like, even if he does defend this somehow, I think he's gonna be in such a bad economic position.
Well, of course, Uko is actually still one worker behind despite all of this, and he's invested quite a bit into it. I say that, he's actually traded about 1,200 resources more efficiently so far. And he is still killing workers.
There's so many queens. Oh, man.
There we go. Lings coming out of the Nidus.
Yep. Speedlings can be even more speedy if they go into a Nidus and on the other end.
I can. If you didn't think Zerglings got faster, try putting them in a Nidus. Yeah, Romson's going to GG out of the first game.
Oh my god.
The cheeky Nidus worked.
Oh man, I can't believe it. These games are so cool. Nidus play coming out for Uko there.
Definitely a great way to start that off.
Yeah.
So game 1 for the series is going to be won by Uko. That was actually one of the more standard maps, I would say. You know, it wasn't Eastwatch, Neon Violet, or a Bio, so already getting the weird play started.
Yeah, and actually, it's very funny that we were talking about how you know. I forgot his name again. Oh, God.
Brand Flakes. This is why we're not professional casters.
Forestalling, like we were talking about how forestalling. Oh god, I can't believe that happened again. we were talking about how forestalling could have improved his build. It was actually because he did Nidus. The Nidus would have solved everything for sure. 100%, obviously.
Actually, a Nidus probably would have worked though for forestalling.
Yeah. Instead of manually transferring drones, we're always talking about Nidusing the drones into the other bases. Super efficient play.
I mean, that's about the closest we as Zerg players get to recall, so yeah, might as well.
Yeah. Good enough.
Yeah, next map will be Blackpink, another very standard map. Probably not going to be very standard play, I would say. I think this time Romson's going to be the one to do something kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I would be very disappointed if Uko doesn't do something weird.
I'm sure Uko has something planned, but maybe it'll just be macro. Maybe he'll cheese to fast Broodlords. Or proxy Broodlords. Is that a build? I guess that really wouldn't work too well.
The Nidus Ultralisk Rush.
That's such a good build. If they're not, like, if they don't scout it, that just tears through everything so quickly.
Yeah, I just love that actual thing. Like, you can say it with like a hint of troll, but everyone knows that Nidus Ultralisk has been done.
It's
very fun.
It's been done and it's very entertaining. Let's see if Romson's coming up with something weird to do. Once again, I said his name before I described him, but he's the purple Protoss player, Romson.
Yeah. Start and end with his name.
Exactly. Everyone needs to know who he is. They can't just see the name on the bottom side of the screen. Top right corner is the Red Zerg, having won one game with Nidus play. Let's see if he goes for it again. It is Uko.
Oh man, there's so many fun players to watch in this tournament. Looks like another 17 hatch. Oh!
No. He's gonna go for the pool first, and of course Probe wasn't trying to block the Nexus, or the natural, so he should know it's pool first at this point, but just gonna confirm it. And probably keep trying to deny that natural expansion for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, no proxies or anything coming out. I was kind of hoping for proxy void rays, to be 100% honest. So Romson let me down there, but I'm sure he'll have a good build. And yeah, Uko just going to ignore that natural. Probably try to take it if he can, but yeah, he knows it's going to be pretty difficult to get that down.
Yeah, pylon going down.
Third? There we go. Third, let's say not place. Getting up to about 350 minerals. Maybe Uko forgot it's not 400 like it is for Terran and Protoss.
Yeah. I mean, he's just focused on the drone micro right now, I think. It does get canceled. He's going to sit there, and I think with that cancel and the drone not immediately morphing into a hatchery, I mean, I'm sure Romson knows that the third is, or natural is second at the third.
Yeah, I mean, you really just have to assume. I mean, why would the Zerg just kind of wait and spend all that time? They're just going to go out to the third.
Yeah, and Uko kind of like pretending that he's going to drop something there by like spamming all those move commands, but I don't think Rom's going to fall for it.
No, really, that's just a safe thing. You send a worker to each base. Make sure you get it at least one spot.
Yep. So he confirms the third placement, and he's going to try and run home. Mailman straying away from the dogs.
Yeah, once again, I think the dog should be able to get in. Unless he gets this wall of up. He's trying to chrono out an adept, but it won't be there for the first one. It might be there for the other ones.
Yeah, so he's going to slip through. He's going to get another full scout off. Pretty sure the tech for Protoss should be going down around now, but just seeing the fact that Morphe is researching, I think he knows that's not going to be Stargate play, and he does confirm that with Twilight Council Scout.
He does. Lings are still sitting here. They could run in and actually kill that one worker, but it looks like they back out. Still no speed done, so you got to be careful not to throw them away to the first adept.
Yep. That mailman does survive with his life. He talks to his buddies. He's like, dude, guys, like, I hate going to that neighborhood. Can you please stop sending me there?
Not actually. No, the Link's still alive. I was about to say there wasn't a kill on that one adept, but there we go.
There we go.
Adept finally focuses it down, but even without speed, got to be irritating for quite a while. And now we see charge on the way.
The Overlord there probably gonna get picked off by the Stalker.
Should be able to
maybe not.
get to safety. Of course, no Stargate or Robo means it'll be there for quite a while.
Yep, that automaton was that. Actually, they keep changing names of these bots, but yeah, the Upper Tree Bot Reno 2017 is blocked by the Adepts. What rude bitches! Not letting him go free to his natural environment.
No, but the Upper Tree Bot, he's getting his scout, you know, because he's playing for the Terran side. He's like, all right, I might not even have a command center on this map, but
But he knows. He knows.
I know what the Protoss is doing. I know how to counter it. I just need to get an economy started.
Yeah, I just need to find a place where I can morph into a command center, and it'll be great.
It's kind of interesting. Like, if a command center can hold 5 SCVs, shouldn't Terran start with 5 workers? Which obviously means, of course, Zerg and Protoss should as well, but I feel like that's like the canon lore kind of thing that makes sense.
No. So what happens is that we start with 6 workers originally because that one SCV that's dropped off like abandoned, he goes to attack the enemy base. Oh, actually, so this timing that Romson's doing, it actually is very similar to one that he did before to another Zerg player. He basically makes the Adepts, tries not to lose them, and he goes in with charge lots. And I think Uko recognizes this, so he starts making roaches, and I'm pretty sure the roaches will be enough to defend this. Last time we saw this happen, there were not any roaches on the field, so there was a lot of damage done. But we will see a little bit of economic damage done, but it shouldn't do too much.
No, Queen will go down. Only 2 workers died so far. As I say that, though, it looks like the Queen won't get focused.
Yeah, Queen survives, and everything is cleaned up. So very nice hold by Uko this time, but Romson is ahead just sheerly by a worker count.
Yeah, he's up, and he has his Robo Bay on the way. Immortal's being pumped out, and there's the Forge as well. So right now, Uko either needs to just keep pumping out roaches and take down that third, or needs to drone pretty hard. Of course, 1 Immortal and Sentries really isn't that much of an army, but with 4 Warpins available, I think Romson's going to be fine to hold this.
Yeah, 1 Ravager being more probably just for the force field breaking, but we'll see what happens. There are a lot of sentries with force field energy. I'm assuming there's about like 8 of them. 2 get used so far. I think he trades it out for another nice force field.
Yeah, it does manage to kill a number of roaches. And there's a Zealot Warpin.
Yeah, but now there's only 1 force, I want to say there's only 1 force field left for Romson, so he has to be careful to not overextend here.
He does. Now, of course, at this point, this is just good, really, for Romson, if he can hold, because he has a very demanding worker lead at the moment, and he's already started up his +1. Still no Evo, I don't believe.
Yeah, but the roaches get onto the army, and I think it's over. I don't know if the workers will be enough if Uko does focus down the Immortal. Looks like he isn't. Oh, but the
Yeah,
roll's stuck
Biles.
in the corner. Yeah, and the battle takes it out.
Yeah, and I think the shield battery is gonna help, but there's enough Ravagers and Lings. They'll take down the Zealots.
Yet the other Immortal doing a lot of damage though. Oh,
Yeah,
two more
two
Immortals now.
Immortals
So
out.
yeah, so Robson actually does hold on here.
Yeah, now of course, 13 workers did go down, so that's kind of helping the Zerg, but Uko is still not actually making any workers, so this still seems very all-in from him, as the last Ravager gets focused down by the Immortals.
Yeah, and he only has Lings out on the map, I believe, so he has Roaches in production, but that won't be able to hold against... Actually, Robson does recognize he might be overextending when he pushes out, so he does back off.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the right call. He has a Warp Prism being pumped out. He'll be getting Archons fairly soon, and I mean, again, he has a pretty good worker lead. Income advance has been almost entirely in Romson's favor this whole game. And I think he just needs to acknowledge that and just kind of sit back and defend. Build up his death ball and then go push out. Because right now, he's just fine to defend. Stay in range of those shield batteries. Still no more workers being produced. Uko staying on 36.
Yeah, Uko really trying to force this engagement and really trying to win right now with the workers he has.
Yeah. Fight is going down. I believe one of the sentries did die to a bile, but all the Lings are dead at this point.
Yeah, we're gonna see Uko try and kite away from this pretty scary army. He might actually pin this against the Biles. One Bile, two Biles good on Stalkers, but shield battery healing it back up to full.
There, yeah, and the Roaches are getting focused down. Lings are still coming in. They actually might get that Immortal, but Warp Prism Micro does manage to save it. Sentry does fall, but all the Roach Ravager goes down, and it's gonna be GG from Uko.
Yeah, Romson taking the first game.
Oh, and actually, Tromquack did point it out in chat, and I totally forgot about this. Uko, because he stayed in the upper bracket the whole time, comes in with a 1-game lead. So Uko is actually right now, he's at 2 wins, whereas Romson is only at 1.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, had Uko managed to win with this, he would have actually won the series.
Okay.
Probably explains why he kind of all-in as much. He kind of has the lead to do so.
Yeah, yeah, Charmquack actually telling me that to read the rules, but I guess I missed that when I was skimming through.
I saw it and I didn't think too much about it. I just forgot about it, to be honest. Quite a few games played since I read that, but yeah, are getting to play on Catalyst now. I told you it would be played at least at some point.
Yeah, it's like telling me that eventually it's gonna turn 12 o'clock at some point in the day.
Eventually it's gonna happen. Might not be right now, but eventually it will be noon or midnight.
Yeah, eventually it will be high noon somewhere.
It's always high noon somewhere.
It's always high noon somewhere, yeah. God, one day I'm gonna play Overwatch again. I'm gonna learn how to actually aim, and it'll be glorious.
Or you can just play like Winston and Symmetra and have the easy hold down the left click, win character. I don't like Symmetra very much, if you couldn't tell from the salt right there.
Fair enough.
But alright, in the bottom right corner, playing currently 1 game behind in this finals of this tournament, it is the purple Protoss player, Romson. And in the top right corner, needing to win this game to win the entire tournament, it is the red Zerg player, Uko.
Alright, so, I just realized it's 3 games are up and I am starting to lag again. This is very, very consistent. I wonder if it's just like a memory leak from StarCraft that causes this.
Definitely could be. I haven't heard of that happening before, but it's a possibility. I just realized I've been casting these games basically in silence because there's not been any music playing. So
I mean, that's fine. No
I'll
one's been
start that up.
complaining.
Yeah, I haven't seen it said. I normally have music playing during casting, so we'll start that up for the last game at least.
Yeah, you mean the second to last game?
Potentially.
Yeah, what's with you and not allowing Protosses to have unions or any support, dude? Is this just the racial bias coming through?
Okay, everyone else says Protoss is underpowered in this matchup. I disagree, but I gotta go with what everyone else says. Everyone else says, nah, Protoss can't win, so. Once again, seeing just the same opening, though, from both players.
Yep, Uko actually, it seems like he really wants this natural. Oh, and he
Yeah, he
gets it
does
this time.
get it.
But he floats a lot more this time forward. He floats about like 70 minerals over.
He does, yeah. Actually gonna, I guess, go check for like a proxy or anything. Maybe he still want to go for a fast 3 hats. He's gonna leave that worker at the third base.
Yeah, it's actually some pretty cool pathing there. So he's gonna like just offhandedly scout for proxies while he's waiting for the minerals for that next base.
Yeah, definitely a smart call. Lings will stay on top of this probe, potentially. But it looks like actually he's gonna try to block that third base once again.
Actually, he misses the drone, I think, coming in. I actually don't know if he scouted it because, I'm having frame drops again. But
Yeah,
if
I
he
don't.
didn't see it, he might think it's all in.
Yeah, I don't think he saw that. Of course, 2 minutes 15 seconds. That is a very early third for Zerg.
That's true,
2:45,
yeah.
3 minutes is a little bit more common, so it's not too weird to not see it. Once
Yeah, Uko
again,
once again going for the third hatchery before the queens.
yeah, probably a stylistic choice more than anything. Adept does get out in time, and the Lings are going to run back home. Not going to get the Scout Twilight Council, but Uko seen a good number of games out of Romson. I think he just expects it at this point.
Yeah, and I do think, I mean, I'm not sure what the exact tell is, but I know that Warp Gate is delayed for the Stargate whenever you go for Stargate. So he might just assume from the Stargates, or from the Cybernex Force spinning, that it was a Twilight Council being made.
Yeah, definitely a safer thing to assume. Never a bad idea to scout for it though. This Adept barely makes it out with its life. Just 6 health, 2 hits away from death.
Yep. And we do see resonating glaives being researched this time instead of charge. So we're also going to switch it up with which Twilight Council tech he's going to be going for.
Yeah, of course, Uko has no way of knowing this. He is going for a Bane Nest this time. I personally think Banes are the better option than Roaches against Adepts, but against Zealots, I think you want Roaches. So, interesting that he's doing that. Not sure, maybe he feels like Banes are better against Zealots, or quite potentially just expects Adepts.
Yeah, I think that Banes are better when you expect to shut down the push like immediately. Oh, am I lagging out?
Yeah, this might be you.
Yeah, it is me. Okay, I'll leave again if it's me. Yeah, I'll just leave again if it's me. So, but
Yeah.
I do think that Banelings are better if you're just expecting one big push from the other player. But Roaches are better if you expect like a continuous pressure.
Yep, I totally agree. But it looks like he's just going to try to bust the front. Unfortunately, Banes aren't the greatest option versus a Stalker, but he is going to be able to get through.
Yeah, actually pretty cool. He delayed exploding that so that Romson couldn't warp in something there, and these lanes didn't get in, but that was a lot of investment, and I'm not sure if Luca's going to be able to get the damage he needs from this.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Already a few workers have gone down, just 2 so far, but there's a third. Looks like all the Adepts will be focused down. Those are Adepts at this point, and I don't know if he realized that's what he saw. Third base is almost finished up for Romson, but there's quite a few Lings already out. Actually,
Yeah.
didn't really realize this. Only 22 workers for Uko. He is going for for a lair, but he has just no economy. He's very all in.
Yeah, this seems to be a very common trend for he knows what we're kind of stop at, where he just gets basically perfect efficiency on whatever unit he wants to make.
Definitely. I would love to see him just run in right now. He could easily shut down this third base. He's not ready for this. I mean, 4 more Banes on the way, but just 1's out right now. Thankfully,
yeah, so he's gonna cancel the shade, yeah, but
yeah, and actually he gets in, cuts his another for the Adepts kind of out in the open, but I don't think he's going to be able to break through that wall. As I say, it actually, Shield Battery manages to save the day.
Yep, and I think, I don't know if Uko can defend all of us entirely. I think Banelings might get good hits, but he's still going to be very far behind in terms of the economy.
He is, yeah, really Uko is just behind so far in economy. He needs to basically kill a whole mineral line here to be able to even it out, and I think just because of that, yeah, Uko's going to have to GG out.
Yeah, okay, so let them know that I'm going to will be the final match. And with the 3-game timer that I am on...
Are you just going to restart real fast?
Yeah, give me like a few seconds.
Yeah, once we get in lobby, I'll let them know what's up.
Yeah, I still will never know why or how that's a thing.
I'm not sure. I know, like, ever since 4.0, it just seems like there's been so many different issues with BattleNet. Personally, I've experienced quite a few, so.
Yeah, like it's just such a odd, like such a specific thing too, right? You would think that I need a full computer restart if it is draining memory, but the fact that I just need to restart like the client itself, it's like, what is it exactly that's causing this issue?
Yeah, definitely sounds like a memory leak, I would say, but I mean, it could be so many things. Computers
Yeah,
always quite complicated. I kind of know how they work, but
it's like a 50-50 at that point.
yeah. So yeah, final map is going to be Backwater. We've seen Romson play on this map a number of times. We'll see if he goes for that same build once again.
Okay, so Uko is let me wait on Uko for a bit. See when he hops
Yeah.
in.
Not sure why he left. He was in the lobby. There we go. He's coming back now.
Yep, so we're gonna be having our last game on Backwater between these two crazy creative players, I think.
And Backwater, I mean, normally you would say it is the greedy macro map, but I think with these two players, we're not going to see greed.
Yeah, we're gonna see something really interesting. So I'm personally just hoping that we get another Nidus play.
Oh yeah, I think Nidus is very realistic. I think Dropper Lords could be quite possible. But honestly, I think Uko's going to go for the proxy hatch. If I have to
You think
call it,
Uko's gonna go for?
yeah, if I have to call anything, I think he's going to go for a proxy hatch into like roaches. We will see though in
Okay.
this final game of this tournament. In the bottom right corner, it is the purple Protoss Romson. And then in the top left corner of Backwater, it is the red Zerg Uko.
So I noticed this time you didn't introduce Romson as the player who has to win this game and coming back from a huge deficit. Romson, whose name you repeat one times too many.
Romson, the
purple
player,
protons,
yeah, Romson, the player who's just really behind because he chose the wrong race. Romson, this purple player, Romson, he is Protoss, the weak race. In the bottom right corner, Romson.
Yeah. Every time I try to say Romson's name, I just like kind of like bub up a little bit because I want to say Ransom, but it's not an A and it's not an N.
I'm always a little bit concerned. I'm going to say like Ron Swanson whenever I'm saying it because I don't know, it just makes me think of that.
That's fair. So we will see the pool first, and Romson does see that, so he's gonna wonder what crazy build's gonna come out this time, probably.
Yeah, of course. Again, 2 workers being moved down. He's going to get one of his 2 bases.
Yeah, actually, I wonder if this is like an necessarily all in, or if it's just like Uko just recognizing like, dude, like I'm so sick of like this nonsense. I'm just gonna build a pool first because they know Romson's gonna be pushing out this worker early.
Yeah, so once again, he really wants to get that natural, and actually delays it by about 100 minerals.
Yeah, that drone goes back to mining. So I guess your call was wrong. There is no proxy hatch coming out.
Unfortunately. So Romson, the purple player in the bottom right, Romson won't have to deal with that. Romson,
I'm sure he's pretty glad about that.
most likely. Of course, Romson wasn't abusing these plates either. I don't know if you saw the video. You can actually block off this bottom ramp with like 3 pylons or a pylon and a gateway.
Yeah, I saw that. Like the plates don't actually cover the space it's supposed to cover.
No,
It's
it's
like
just
slightly
it's to the left. Yeah. Worker been chilling out at the 3rd for Uko for a while, but I guess he decides just to send it to go mine.
Yeah, I guess this time he's gonna be going for like a more like the queens first before the hatchery. He's gonna send the dog in, and the pound's gonna try and make sure that nothing gets scouted. But Shade stops a little short.
Yeah,
Once
Twilight,
again, yep.
as always. So, Uko probably gonna open with a Nidus?
I think the layer's a little early this time though for Nidus. I feel like Nidus or layer starts a little bit like 30 seconds later than this.
It can, unless he's going for a very, very fast Nidus. Now, this could be like super fast mutas. I mean, if you can get like 5 mutas out at like the 5-minute mark, that can be really lethal, but...
That is true. We'll have to see what he drops immediately after the layer finishes. Because if you build a layer that, I'm pretty sure you have a very specific tech that you want to go to.
Yeah, there's no way you start lair before 3 minutes, just casually. He's still on 2 base. Is still
Yeah,
just making workers, and there's the Roach Warren. Probably defensive, but again, could be Nidus play.
Yeah, I do believe the Roach Warren is just in response to the Fly Council, because that probably just means that Romson's gonna be going for that standard like 5 Zealot, 3 Adept push with charge that he loves so much.
Definitely
it is gonna be
possible.
Nidus.
Okay, so I think that's kind of weird. He doesn't have a lot of queen production right now, right? He's only on 2 queens. Maybe he's just thinking the Nidus is gonna hit so early he won't be able to deal with it. This Overlord is positioned down here, but I want to say, actually no, there's not any vision of that for Romson, so.
Yeah, so he's just really gonna be relying on the fact that Romson doesn't scout this at all. These Adepts are gonna be able to trade out with these Lings, and it's gonna be they're gonna be in a very good position to just. Yeah, not even one dies, and that's gonna be really important because that was a lot of Lings that they just shade off.
No, and so there's the Nidus. Again, I do want to say he's gonna have vision of that. I mean, yeah, it's on his mini map. So no response just yet to it. Maybe he doesn't realize. There we go.
Like he's gonna react, but it's gonna be too late. The Nidus already out, and the Queen not even the first thing in there. But the Lings aren't actually going through the wall, even though they can. So we're gonna see what happens in this game. Transduce is going on the Roaches. The Lings still just attacking. Actually, if those Lings kill those buildings without being contested, this push could be a lot stronger than it actually is. But
it could be. Yeah, there we go. Lings jump in, and I do think the probes are gonna be able to clean this up here.
Yeah, looks like it was. I wonder if it's gonna hop right into the Nidus worm again. But a lot of probes going down, but I don't think it's enough to warrant the all-in because he doesn't have a third base up.
No, there's no third base for the Zerg. He's actually supply blocked right now from losing that Overlord who ran in to place the Nidus, and he's still 3 workers behind. I was about to say, I think there's going to be another Nidus worm popping out, but that's definitely going to be spotted.
Yeah, I think Romson has to know that the Nidus comes out from only there, and I'm pretty sure the Nidus is gonna die almost immediately the moment it pops up because there's still no queens and everything is bunched up around it, and so we're gonna see it pop. 2 Roaches come out, and I think that's.
And there's just another Nidus. He's gonna keep doing it. But yeah, already all of those Roaches get focused down, and there's a little bit more army here now, I believe, for Romson.
Yeah, I think Romson he just has to know that the Nidus. He actually reacted a little bit late, so these Roaches will come out. Oh,
yeah, get the sentry.
The force field there, I think, actually blocks all the units from coming out, so a little bit more damage coming out, but he's using so much gas on these worms.
He is, yeah, of course, a worm being 100 each, and his economy being so weak, at this point, Romson's back up to a 12-worker lead. There was a big income advantage for that first Nidus when all the workers got pulled. Seeing another one go down.
Yeah, he's just headbutting all of the Nidus worms into basically where Romson's most defended, which is kind of surprising. I feel like if he just went to the third base or the main base again, he'd be able to abuse positioning a bit more. But once again, a few Roaches, a few Lings come out, and they're gonna be shredded instantly, and Romson takes the tournament.
Uko with a cheesy game like we called at the end, but definitely not what I was expecting. Not really played out the way I expected it to at all.
Yeah. I mean, I got to see what I wanted to see. I wanted Nidus. I got a Nidus.
We had Nidus, we had Proxy Gold Base, had double Gold Base in the middle of the map. It's been a very interesting tournament so far, I would say. It's unfortunate that it does have to end.
Yep. And the last Nidus one play just even faked me out because I was expecting more queens, but Uko just decided to go for a Roach Ling, and I think it would have worked if he got a little bit more, maybe a slightly better position.
Yeah, maybe a little bit farther tucked back into the main. And I think if his Lings got onto that natural mineral line faster, that would have helped. But good response from Romson. And Romson does take the tournament.
Yep, getting that first place after going through a very hard fight where he dropped to Uko, let's see, in the 4th round and had to fight his way back up the loser's bracket. So taking a well-deserved first place in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely well played by all the players. Romson playing very well.
Yeah, Romson, the purple Protoss, Romson.
Romson, the player who's currently behind. Romson, bottom right corner.
Maybe it's the caster curse. The more we repeat his name, the more power he gets. Maybe that's why he won.
So can we get it over 9,000 is the question. Can we say his
maybe.
name that many times?
Who knows? Yeah, thank you to Charmquark, or as he's known on Discord, Nictism or Nistism. Thank you for letting us cast this amazing tournament.
Yes,
we were 10 minutes off of the advertised time that you gave us. You said we were going to end at 11, but we ended at 10:50, so
very close. Just need a little bit more macro there out of that last game.
Yeah.
But yeah, big thanks to Charmquack for this, and of course for Brand for getting me to be able to cast kind of halfway through it.
Trying to let you dodge out of it, but you know, it's much more fun with a second caster with you.
It is. Having a co-caster is always more fun.
Yep.
So. And thank you everyone for tuning in for this tournament. This is a weekly one, right?
I think so, yeah.
Well, then hopefully everyone will follow and tune in again next week as well.
Yep, and a quick plug for Taste the Bacon / Pigpen. We will be having a clan war, I believe, tomorrow. You said around like, what, 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. EST?
No, 2 p.m. EST.
Oh, so it's the early one. This is the EU one?
It's one of the European tournaments. So yeah, Taste the Bacon. There'll be a clan war. I don't feel like throwing my own Twitch link in chat because that kind of seems like self-promotion too much. But
yeah, we're promoting. We're twitch.tv/YamaPickle. Tune in at 2 p.m. EST if you want to hear us bitch at each other a little bit more.
Well, see, that time it'll be less of us bitching at each other and more of making fun of our own teammates' names.
That is true. That is very true. And so yeah, if you guys want to see us bicker a little bit more and you want to see lower level play and maybe have a bit more fun times, tune in tomorrow.
Yep.
Thank you again for letting us be here. Maybe we'll be back if we get another chance.
Yeah, maybe. And thank you again for everyone tuning in. And good night, everyone.
Yep, this is YamaPickle and I guess Bran Flakes from Yanni or Technopet, whichever one you want to give me.
I don't want to say Bran Flakes, but it's either.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Good night, guys.